Alex
When I
is
went to
here,
school.
we can go ahead.
5 o'clock says it.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is December 14th, 2023. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Born and upward.
And we will dispense with all of our others. There wasn't anything else on there other than budget, so we will go right into budget hearings.
There's kind of some tentative schedules for some officials and department heads that would like to discuss their budget at certain times, but it's just mainly, we're just gonna kind of go through each department and not necessarily line by line, but make sure if anybody, if the three of you or any of you have any questions, concerns over any line items in any budget, then we need to discuss those, and we need to, in the next 2 days, get to what you would consider your final numbers that you three or as a group will approve for a final budget. So that's the plan for the next 2 days. So if unless you got something you want to start with, we'll just get right into the sheriff's budget since he got him here first. Law enforcement sales tax fund budget starts on page 100. And what we did is the sheriff sent me back a schedule of just the few differences we had between his department request amount and the budget officer recommended amount. There's not a lot of difference there, but
The main is a salary line. So last year, you guys approved a salary change and steps. And our steps are based off 4-year increments. So 4 years they get a step, 8 years they get a step, 12 years they get a step. And what the difference is in our salary lines right now between Mark and I are those continuing those steps and the salary. And I understand where he was coming from. He said he didn't want to adjust any of the salaries. He was going to let you guys answer that. The other thing was whenever I did the salary adjustments in September, we did not include lieutenants, captains, or majors. So currently the lieutenants and the sergeants are making the same pay. So what we're wanting to do is increase that. The actual cost for the steps and the steps alone for the civilian and sergeants and below is $25,361, and then the salary adjustments and then the step adjustments for lieutenants and above is $39,979. So it's a total of $65,339. And there's some cents there, but I know that there's some people that don't like the cents, so I'm not going to bring that up.
including me.
But I think that was one issue. And the only other one was, I want to start increasing the GR subsidy that you guys give us to 2.04 million. I want to increase that by whatever the COLA raise is. The problem is we're setting my law enforcement sales tax up to fail because we continually increase the expenditures and my revenue is flattened out. So since 2008, I think, it's been 2.04 million. So I'm just requesting from this point forward that we, whatever the COLA raise is, that we add that to that 2.04 million. I want to increase my part-time by $1 an hour. There's no increase to the budget on that. I'll absorb that.
What schedule do you have up there right now?
Well, this is a salary schedule.
Is that the one you emailed to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now what I'm focusing in is your requested adjustments. So right now you've got your professional standards lieutenant. The position is open, but it was being paid 71, and you want to adjust it by 7,000. Is that okay? Okay.
So the lieutenants will go to 78,000. The captains will go to 85,000, and then the major will go to, wow, I can't count that high, whatever it is.
I don't think you've asked for any more. I didn't see an
Well,
additional request for your major.
Well, I think, well, the major was supposed to be another 7,000, so it put him at his base pay of 95, and he's already at 96, so
Oh,
there's no
okay.
adjustment for him.
Okay, gotcha, yeah, he's at,
Was this scheduled in an email to us?
yes.
When was that email?
This actual spreadsheet, is that what you're talking about? Yesterday or the day before? What's the latest one?
I sent it to you. Did I send it? Initially, I sent it on the 6th. Then I sent a different, then I adjusted it yesterday and sent it to you yesterday.
Yesterday.
So. So. I mean,
Wait a minute, I think it might be right here. Is it by department or?
There's
yeah,
different
there's a
tabs
tab,
down the
law
bottom.
enforcement,
Got it.
updated law enforcement is what I'm at. So we've got, okay, you've got the lieutenants and the captains you're requesting. There is one civilian
Right.
adjustment for
Right.
your fiscal officer. You're asking for an additional adjustment.
Yes,
And then,
so go back up.
yeah, okay.
So, no, go down, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Right there. So you can see that there's no, there's hardly any adjustments in there. It's because those are the adjustments that the steps you did last year, you did in September. So all those steps that we did last year, that's why we're not requesting any up there.
But here we've got a captain
That's
that you're asking for.
71, right, because of the salary increase.
Okay, then,
And then on
what
these
is this?
Patrol division
Patrol.
guys, they just hit their 8-year mark, I think, or 4-year, I can't remember. Or
Okay.
4 years at the title. So because of that, the way we had it set up was, we wanted to give them a 3% increase on their salary at their 4-year mark, and then another 3% at their 8-year, and another percent at 12-year. And we adjusted all the other uniformed personnel in September.
Okay, then there's another captain
Right.
with the adjustment, okay. And then under, what are we down to, jail, 704,
Right, and the same,
Yeah.
yeah, same thing.
same thing, okay, with, these are like 4-year
Right,
adjustments, and then you got another captain
right.
and more 4-year adjustments, okay. That is lieutenant, yeah, okay, adjustment. Okay.
What is this? What does this do? You know, there was one time, you used the term underwater when we visited one time. What, do you know how much this changes the underwater number?
We are, our operational budget, well, first off, our capital improvements, we lowered it. So it was 329,960. I've gotten rid of a couple things, so now it's 274,120. So I don't know how much that's gonna
okay.
affect the budget quite a bit.
What,
but-
okay, on page 100, what did you, so I know, what are you taking out? Because I need to change that.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, apparently.
Thank you.
So I changed that, so our total operational expense, we're in the red, $179,165,000. That's due to salaries,
But of course, that's if you're fully staffed.
if I'm fully staffed. And I would hope that I would get that way, but I don't see it. As of Monday, I'll be 14 down, and they have 4 in the hopper, so the salaries are working.
Well, do you want to discuss the specific differences or what your thoughts are? Salaries, what do you?
Is it accurate to say that what the changes, salary changes we're talking about now were already, I'll put it in quotes, agreed to under the step?
Yes.
There was nothing mentioned about lieutenants, captains, or majors on that grid.
Well, not on the grid, but I think what I said during the meeting was I need to address the lieutenants, captains, and majors, but I'll do that at the budget year. Because I was more concerned about the deputies. You did agree to the steps for, and we subsequently paid anybody that was at the 4, 8-year, and 12-year mark, we paid them subsequently for their, whatever that percentage was. Now, the percentage was also, it says adjusted minimum salary, so if the minimum salary for a deputy is $53,000, and they've been with me for 12 years, and they were already exceeding $57,770, then they did not get a raise. So this is, what I adjusted to was adjusted minimum salary.
Right, and then one civilian request.
Oh, there was two, but,
Oh, there was two?
no, there was, but they're no longer with me.
Oh, okay.
Difference between like yours and what he's asking.
Actually, there's a schedule here.
Is that the one you go down 320?
Yeah. I mean, do you want,
Besides salary, there
Yeah.
were still some other requests.
do you want to talk transfer in? The extra 4%, I've got that in my number. Now, we are different because initially you requested the full amount for the sheriff revolving fund, the full-time salary, but I don't think, doesn't look
Oh,
like there's
for
gonna be
the-
enough
for-
money in
right, the
that fund
CCW,
for that
yeah.
next year, so we cut that in half, so right now, we're showing about a 23.6 difference between transfer in, what I recommended, but that's because of that salary subsidy. But I do have the 4%.
I'm just a no on that one. I mean, when we put it on the ballot, that's the way it was, that the 2.04 million, I think, from general revenue would stay going towards the sheriff. We've got a lot more revenue coming in with the sales tax and the federal prisoners, so we just gotta make that work. And the 2.04 million subsidy should be enough. I know you disagree, but you're not gonna get it if you don't ask for it.
I
so
think you're fair.
I don't.
I think that's a
don't
fair,
disagree
that's a
with
fair
it.
statement. It really is.
And
Sorry, what?
the only other thing I was gonna add is the bottom line being in red. I know we did this with the previous sheriff. We sat down, and it's funny because you can go out 10, 20 years. If you change one number even slightly,
Yeah.
that changes from where you're at in black and red. And, maybe we need to do that exercise a little more, figure out where we could.
Well, the 20-year plan that I got from Kristen, and I've been sort of throwing numbers in it, trying to keep up with it. It wasn't too bad, and I knew that we were gonna have to address something in a couple of years, and I think it was 3 years. But the problem is the salaries, staffing has
Yeah.
gone through the roof, and that's just thrown everything off.
That's out there everywhere. And
It
if we're
is,
gonna
absolutely.
compete with anything, I mean, even on our board yesterday at the board meeting, I mean, we had to make a substantial adjustment to salary to make sure that we keep our
Sure.
director there. And so, are they worth it? Yeah. But I'm kind of looking countywide. Your budget's a little different. We just talked about that a bit ago.
Yep.
Yours is a little different because you got your pot of money. And so I'd rather wait till the end and talk about all the salary things, but yours is different in that manner. So, on the transfer end, that's my point on that part.
Help me out on when we on the ballot? You mentioned what was on the ballot.
On the law enforcement sales tax, the half-cent sales tax to build the law enforcement center, it said that it would have the half-cent sales tax, and the 2.04 million that came from general revenue for the sheriff's office would still be paid.
That's how much they were subsidizing us at that
At
time.
that time.
And so they just kept it at the 2.04.
Did the ballot language actually say that, or that was just like an agreement when it was
I think it was an
between the
agreement.
commission and the sheriff when
I
it was
think
put on
it
the
said
ballot?
it, I don't remember exactly, but I thought it actually said it,
I
the
think
number
in the
even.
literature we handed out said it.
Well,
The literature that was handed out.
Literature
that
doesn't
month.
matter. It matters what was in front of the voter when he checked the box. What did that ballot measure?
The ballot
say?
did not say anything about 2.04 million.
Well, I shouldn't, let me restate. It does matter what was said, but what really counts is when he sat in the booth and looked at the ballot and what did he base his vote on? And did it,
Well, it was the intention and the promise of the commission at
Okay.
that time.
well,
Yeah, but they can't put.
it was to continue it. Was it
Right.
continue it at a fixed cost for perpetuity? Or did it
Yes.
just say we will continue a subsidy? Or did it say 2.04 million or whatever?
I don't, with inflation, I don't think there's any way you can say that's
I want
gonna
to say
stay
it
the same.
said current funding. It said something similar to that.
Perpetuity is.
Again,
But that doesn't mean you can't increase it. So,
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't, but well,
It maybe would
maybe you can't.
say you shouldn't
can't get
decrease,
a-
yeah, if that was like the stated agreement,
The minimum.
you probably, might be difficult to reduce it, but there's no reason why you can't increase, if that's what you choose.
But at the time, it was supposed to be a 50-year plan, and it was supposed to financially be solvent because it figured in the increase in sales tax, it figured in the increase in board of prisoners, maybe not so much.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it had the federal prisoners boarding in
Well,
there.
we kept it out.
Because that's been a nice little,
Yeah, we kept it out for a long time.
okay, so
But
I just said, the budget back then and the budget now is quite a bit more, so I think we just gotta make it work within where it's at with the 2.04 or 2.4, whatever it is, so.
We're talking about $80,000
Yeah.
now.
Roughly 87 or, I don't remember.
Well, it'd be 4% of that number, wouldn't it?
4% of it.
Here, let me pull up your
We
budget.
we do take stuff out of that.
And you
so-
have that 4% in your budget, Mark?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Let me pull it up specifically here. Yeah, transfer in 2,040,000, then we take out the computer services charge that we do for every fund, the 3% admin that we do for all sales tax funds, and then I went down to 25,000 to transfer in from the sheriff revolving fund, and 4% increase there, $81,600. That's 4%. So,
I think if you've got it in the budget, I would leave it in the budget. That's just me.
I think I'm okay with the COLA, basically getting the COLA. That line gets a COLA calculation is what we're basically saying, right? I mean, what's saying?
that's
That's what my request.
that's
would
the
be.
sheriff's request, yeah.
So that's gonna be like you come back every year and request it, not in perpetuity to keep increasing it.
I mean, that's fair. I don't have a problem with
It's hard, going back, yeah, I mean, nothing's gonna go down. Everything's gonna keep going up. so-
Their sales tax revenue's going up, our federal prisoners boarding is going up, I mean, revenues have, knock on wood.
that. Yeah, that's not gonna.
So it has gone up, revenue has gone up, but also
Unfortunately-
spending has too, so.
Yeah, that's the problem, is the expenditures.
And I know a lot of it's in the salary line right now, that's gonna be one we need to get a hold of, but, if we're gonna increase that, we gotta cut back somewhere else, so.
I'm okay with
2 to 1,
As am
so
I,
that number.
as am I, yeah.
Jesus, it's not even 8:30. All right, well, we can sit here and chew on this all day longer.
All right, well,
You want me to go get the bourbon?
don't know,
Move on
HBA
to
Christmas
Matt.
is last night, not ready for that yet.
And then,
Where's that button at, Sam? Did you figure that out?
Yeah.
It's my last word. No!
okay.
Hey, your batteries are dead on this one.
Well, I'll get it fixed.
That and then
Okay.
salaries, that's our only differences, so you want to. Well, the
They're
revenue,
basically-
I up the interest, cause
So-
I think interest revenue, cause I think interest rates will stay fairly high, they
Yeah, I
might
do
drop
too.
some.
I don't have a problem with anything on Mark's budget other than the salary lines, and I don't think we have an issue with it between he and I just think he wants you guys to be able to make that determination.
So on salaries, we were talking about whether you had said it when we did the other salary adjustments, and I don't know whether it's said or not, but I think I knew it was coming, so that you'd be coming to adjust the other salaries. So I wasn't surprised at all.
I have to adjust, I mean, I can't have lieutenants and sergeants making the same.
You're just trying
salary.
to keep from saying compression. Go ahead and say it.
I'm not gonna say it, but with the sergeants and lieutenants making the same salary and sergeants getting overtime, they're really making a whole lot more money than the lieutenants. So I'm trying to be amicable. I'm not gonna use that F word, fair. I don't like that word.
So if we put it, I mean, the number, if we put it in there, in the budget, and then I'm gonna throw a bunch on Sheila's lap here, but on these salary adjustments that people are wanting, I think it needs to go through HR, we need to look at them and find a number, and it really, there's some objectivity to it then. And, you know, maybe you do have it all down on paper, and Sheila can look at it and go, oh, well, yeah, I verified it, this is what it should be. I don't know if this is kicking the can down 3 months from now, or how long this will take, but that's just kind of where I was looking at with countywide, is if we put basically a merit pool in there. Yours is different, because yours is the sheriff's budget, like we talked about.
And I don't have a problem with what you're saying about, I mean, I just gave her all of my job descriptions, so I don't have a problem with her, it's kicking at her. I don't think it's fair to those employees to wait 3 months to get those raises. I don't think it's fair for my lieutenants to be making the same salary
Well,
line.
we should have done that when we did the other adjustments
I
since.
don't have a problem, and then say the rest of you are gonna have to wait 3 or 4 months to see if maybe you're gonna get it. I don't think that's fair.
So the adjustments, let me get back to that screen, that was based on the steps. Those dollars were on the steps.
Well, so everyone but the lieutenants and above was based on steps.
Well, I think that's where the adjustments were at, were lieutenants and above, right?
The salary, so there's the step adjustments for everybody, and then there's the salary line adjustments for the lieutenants, captain, and the major. And the major actually not getting an adjustment, so, but anyway, it's those.
I mean, I think I can swallow the step adjustments, but I think the other, I was just looking at some pretty big numbers on the adjustments and just wanted to have some kind of
What's the total?
reasoning.
on-
It's
on-
not that much, 60,
$69,473
So-
for everything.
With benefits, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's with
with
benefits.
This is select
Your
few.
concern, one of your concerns is that a sergeant, if we don't make some kind of change here, sergeants are gonna make more than lieutenants.
They will,
With overtime?
yes,
You know,
absolutely.
since I was
Lieutenants don't.
enlisted in the Army and I had to take orders, I would have liked to have made more than some of those lieutenants, but.
That's a whole different animal. I mean, that's a whole different animal, but, yeah.
Second lieutenants or?
So, and everybody else, when I set up the new salary lines, I put a $9,000 buffer in between the ranks to make sure that, no, we're not pushing up against. But with the lieutenants, captain and major, I dropped it to 7,000, right? Because I'm trying to be,
Here's where I guess the common term for this would be heartburn, is we had a jailer issue because we couldn't get them to come to work because the numbers were too low, we thought, accurate. So we raised the jailer. And because of jailers being hard to find, we raised captains, lieutenants, and everybody else because of this ladder. And I think that's crazy. In the business world, if a business is finding it hard to hire people to sit in that chair, and they raise the value of that chair, they don't go all the way to the top with that bump, bump, bump. And I wish we didn't have to follow the logic that we're following, that because it was hard to fill that chair, everybody who's downstream or upstream from that chair gets a bump. But that's history. That's behind us. This has gotten so complicated that an accountant can't follow. So I'm gonna follow the lead of the most experienced commissioner.
Whoa, the power. Here,
So-
Jeffrey.
You don't want me to have that.
Only on this issue.
And I
So-
think what you were saying was right, you know, step back, let HR look at it, make sure how that gets out of line anywhere else, you know, I think that was a good idea. We've talked about a salary study countywide, you know, so.
So we're looking at 6 months then, we're doing a salary study, we're looking at 6
So
months.
on
I
the,
didn't say that.
on the steps, I'm gonna, to clarify that, the difference in salary that you had, part of it was steps and part of it was just merit,
Right.
or whatever we wanna call it. I don't have a problem putting them on the same steps and whatever we wanna call it, but
Right.
I think it gives them a reason to stay loyal and to stay here. So that part of it, I don't have a problem moving ahead on. And that's part of it you were talking about, is that's not really fair to do it for some and not the others.
So I just want to get this clear. So it's okay, you guys think it's okay for sergeants and lieutenants to make the same amount of money? Actually, for sergeants to make.
They don't
more
make
money.
the same amount of money.
Yes, sir. Their starting salary is the same. Starting salary for a sergeant is 71,000. Starting salary for a lieutenant is 71,000.
To be fair, you know, you created this, John.
But I did create it. Debbie, what's your suggestion then?
So-
We wait 2 years? I think the last one was 2 years for the salary study.
I mean, you keep believing me on your watch, John.
The-
so-
Okay, so they were both at 71. I thought there was still a difference in
No,
it.
the
I thought you were
start-
saying with overtime they make,
All the sergeants with overtime is gonna make a lot more money than lieutenants. So I guess I could make the lieutenants, captains, and majors non-exempt, so they can get overtime also.
It's not a decision.
I think
So-
that is a decision I can make. I don't want to.
so do we have the pay scale that you would be proposing?
I sent it to you.
Okay.
I mean, I have a copy.
I need to revisit that then.
I have a copy here in front of me.
So, do you know when you sent that? Was that early
I
when we were
have
talking
no
about the
idea.
budget thing?
I have no idea. It could have been in August.
Because I mean, why am I gonna get to be lieutenant? You're gonna give me extra duties and no extra pay. That's a valid argument, that's fair. So, but the number, there was like a 7,000 and different, when I'm looking up there at those proposed
So it's a
changes.
$7,000 pay adjustment for lieutenants, captains, and majors.
They're gonna bump them all 7.
Yes.
And how much of that 7 is a step?
None of it. So the 7,000 is, would be, so the 7,000 is the salary adjustment. And then if you look at, there's only 2 people that's getting a step of the steps, and that's, I don't know who they are because it's not in here, but there's 2 people getting a salary adjustment. And the total cost, man, you got to remember, we're including the retirement, and Social Security.
You guys want a copy of this?
Yes, please.
Yes.
This is the one you're talking about, right?
I don't think it has, does it have lieutenant captain? Yeah, it's this one here. Let me go print this.
Okay, yeah, if I can get that in front of me and see that again,
That's what was passed in August.
this was the August, okay. I'm gonna make a copy of that too.
That top one was mine. You know,
Oh,
the
it's yours.
Highlighted column.
And Mark, you don't have any of this in the budget?
No,
Okay.
no. I've got current salaries plus 4%
Okay.
in my budget numbers.
We go back over there to that budget and the difference between, I was just wondering what was changed, yep.
This one?
Yeah.
So the transfer in,
Uh-huh.
interest, I increased. That was just a slight adjustment, so the revenues and expenditures would be the same, because that money goes in and out. Then here's the salaries. 701, we're off by 8,400. And then the benefits, of course. 702, we're close. There's not much, yeah, there wasn't much adjustment there. 703, it's not that much different. 704, we're off by like 22,000. Yeah.
So really there wasn't any other line items that he asked much about?
No, just that one for 1,000, I think it's just because I would have put the 3,000 in there. I made a few mistakes putting numbers in, so we can,
Do you wanna, so you're doing it all in the spreadsheet, you're not really doing it this way, right? Because you haven't really moved it to commission yet.
I have not moved anything to commission yet, yeah, so yeah, like John said, we're off 69,000 different, so,
Including salary. I see.
yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I think you have a copy of this, don't you, Clark?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if you.
I guess what we could do is put that difference in this, kind of like we did last year, salary reserve line item, and
And
if approved by you, the commission, then we take it out of that salary reserve and put it in the salaries.
as you know, every year, the salaries really don't change with the 4% or whatever COLA that you would give until the first check in February anyway. Because that's the first full pay period
In the new
this
year.
year.
So, John, up here at the top, we got it, the jailer, the sergeant, and then we got the lieutenant, the major down below that. I see 71 for sergeant and 78 for lieutenant.
Yeah,
These
that's
are
that's my
proposed-
request, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
so, did it make copies of what it, I made a copy of what you had, did you have?
Yeah, I
the-
know, I had it upside down, so all I got was gluing papers, sorry. I have people for this. If you look at that,
That's great, sorry.
if you look at this, you can see that
Okay.
the sergeant and lieutenant is the same salary. That's our
Yeah,
current
this is,
schedule.
yeah, this is what that's kind of what I was
And
wanting to
that's
see, so.
Hence my comments back then. But this will not work.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't catch that. Because it would make sense to have some kind of difference in there back then even. But I don't know how much it needs to be between the two of them.
He was ready, he did do a 7.
What's the date of the birth of this schedule?
I couldn't tell you. When, you told me whenever I printed that up,
No, well, I mean, when did this be,
when will it come into effect? January 1.
This is what was approved in August, so it had to change between, probably at budget time.
Yeah, in August, September, I was working on that.
aren't these steps and dollar amounts as we look forward based upon zero COLA?
Yes.
So when there's COLA added in, all these numbers change?
Yes, so it'll be, for instance, it would be, if I had 4 years in, I would get the 3% for the step, and then whatever the COLA is that year.
I mean, you guys didn't exactly approve that as far as, you approved what he brought to you, and then plus, we asked about COLA, and he said that would be on top of it.
Right.
And then, but, we didn't talk about whether the scale would change every year to the COLA. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I guess historically, we lived in a time when we were living at 2% inflation rates, not too many years ago. And COLAs were not a significant piece of the discussion. Those times have changed. I served on a school board for many years, and there was this huge schedule. You come in with a bachelor's, and one year you make this, the next year you make this. You go out and you get a half of a master's, another 8 hours, I don't know how many hours it takes, and you get a bump there. It was all, the schedule forever was, somebody could sit there and say, if I stay here 20 years, this is what, and get my master's, this is what I'm gonna make in the lower right-hand corner after I've got. And today, COLA's just mumble jumble that schedule to pieces. Because yesterday's dollar is not worth today's dollars, or today's dollar is not worth yesterday's dollars. I don't know.
So before we made the adjustments in August, what was the difference on the scale, between sergeant and lieutenant? Was it 3,000 or?
7,000.
It was 7,000 before, so when we made the adjustments, that just brought them all the way up to, so we went from 64 to 71 basically on the sergeants.
Yes, I believe that's correct, but I don't know, that's not sitting in front of me. What was it?
It was 5,000 for correction officers, 3,000 for deputies, 5,000 for corporals, and 7,000 for, it was going up for sergeants, 7,000 for sergeants.
So it was 7,000 for sergeants.
Yes, the rest of them were less.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one whenever we were going over that. I seen that coming down the road like a Mack truck. So I agree there needs to be a difference between them. Otherwise, why would you want to be a lieutenant and have additional duties and not have any change in pay?
More responsibility.
I mean, if you're just gonna give me a title and more money, that's great, but I would expect more, It gets easier after this one, right, Mark?
Not so sure about that.
I mean, if you want to decide on salaries, you want to wait to the end. I mean, obviously, this will affect what you're going to do forward on the rest of them. Maybe not.
Right now, I think I'm
COLA
just,
should be the same for everybody across the board, right? So,
Yeah,
I mean,
COLAs are COLAs.
Yeah,
I mean, I think in order, not to be selfish about it, but I think it's been determined that elected officials can have a COLA
Yes,
if everybody gets a COLA.
right. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
that sort of is locked in.
I mean, we can table it, we can make it at the very end.
there's like
we
14
can
other
put in a-
positions though, right, that are wanting adjustments.
What, I don't know how many it was, you'd have to
I
look on there.
I'm looking at the,
If we use the schedule
What, Mark?
that was approved in
Yeah, something like
September.
that. That sounds about right, yeah. With the lieutenants and captains and then the 4-year, yeah, sounds about right, about 14
4, 8,
adjustments.
12 year, yeah.
So what you have is make a change in or adding the 3 positions to the schedule, going with the steps that were approved, and then the 1 civilian, that's what you have, basically. And how many of them? I can count them.
So we could put a salary reserve line for the difference if you want to go that route. So,
I kind of like that better.
I can tentatively agree on that, we can go ahead and move forward. That's the only sticking point right now, I think, right?
I'm fine saying with what you just said.
There's 15.
15.
So what would be the number then I would get for the salary, merit, whatever that,
And the salaries would be the 54.5, and then you'd have to still figure. Or I
Yeah.
guess you could put it all in there if you wanted.
how many lieutenants you got?
2.
2, how many captains?
3. I just lost one.
5.
So we're in the process, actually.
Well, how many positions do you have? Counting the open ones, how many?
3 captains, 2 lieutenants, 1 major.
Okay, so basically, those are the 6 positions that I see that there is a problem. If you, we can try to fix them with whatever number. You're wanting to go 7,000 like you did the sergeant in August, so.
Yeah, you can pick that out and then put the rest in the reserve, whatever you want to do. Who knows?
I don't have a final answer right now. You're not gonna be here tomorrow. I mean, you can be if we have to have you, but
Yeah, I will be now. I'll be here all day tomorrow and all day today.
just give me some time to chew on it. The only thing I can do right now is arbitrarily pick a number and go, I like this number better. Why? I can't have it. I think there needs to be a difference between them. If it was 7,000 before, then I don't, that's an argument, or we can say, let's put something in there. So. Yeah. Kind of high-centered right now on this, so if we want to move on, we can still talk about this, and we're not making a decision necessarily on it yet, and we're not saying yes or no.
Okay.
Said, I don't have a magic number. But I see exactly where, the sheriff's coming from, where his numbers came from, and it's a valid argument, so. That's on the lieutenants, captains, and majors.
The reason why we went with 7,000 is because a lot of, if you look at different agencies, they have a $10,000 separation. That way it accounts for a corporal getting his salary raise, it get the COLA raise and whatever. So it doesn't push right up against the sergeant's salary and stuff. The 5,000 didn't work. It only worked, I think, for 2 years. And then they were pushing right on the door of the starting salary of the other ones. That's why I went with the 9,000 between the uniform personnel, and that's why I pushed it to 7,000 for the lieutenants. Captains and majors it should have been 9,000, but I didn't want to spend that much money. So I said 7,000 instead.
Okay. That makes sense.
Anything else? Move on?
We're done?
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we have any other?
Are you guys okay with the capital list? Because usually that is.
Oh, yeah,
a
the
goal
capital
for him
list.
to,
Yeah.
Start doing, spending that. Once it's in his budget, obviously. It's not like you're all capital.
I think I'm fine with the capital list. The sheriff knows the needs of, the capital needs of his operation. It's a little hard to follow what it was to what it's going to, 320, say 330 to 274, because some of the combinations are a little bit changed, but
Yeah.
I'm good with going from.
Well, there was if you look at it, there on the left is everything that we were gonna put in for the cost, and then the next column is if it's 0, I didn't move it into the.
Yeah, but some of the designations, they were clumped together before and separated now, aren't they? They're not quite line across.
It's a little
like-
different, but
Like computers. There's 2 separate lines for
there's 2
computers.
separate, yeah. there is.
That was Brian's.
See, there's computers and access point, the second line item, and then at the very end, there's another computers line, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is probably a little better schedule, you got them right together, yeah, so.
But I don't want to argue that you can't lower these numbers, which he has, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
It's just a
All right.
red light to go, so is that okay?
I'm-
Red light to go?
I'm good, yeah.
Well,
With
I mean,
Green light?
to go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Green light.
okay, all right.
My hearing's getting bad, that's.
So, we're all okay then,
So-
except for the
Yeah,
salaries? Salaries the only thing we
Yeah.
gotta
That's
Okay.
sheriff's number he's got to work with them, and some things change.
Yeah.
Decide something you need is more important, or comes up, then something falls off that list, so.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
good?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Sheriff.
Maybe my computer, I'll be back.
Is Greg still around? Yep.
I'm all
He is lurking.
Hey, John.
Need a break or go?
Now, let's go. We'll-
Do one more?
We'll go
Do
get
this one?
Greg. and then we'll-
Okay, yeah, I think Greg's,
I'm gonna need to stand up here for.
yeah. Okay, Greg's is on,
48.
page 50, actually. Ouch. Let's go to.
Is there
Oh.
anything besides salary you want to talk about?
Well, again, I made a mistake. Transferring the money, an amount from department requested to budget officer under the annex building. What's that first one? Instead of 10,000, I put 1,000. Is that maintenance? What's the first line? I can't
Supplies.
remember.
That's
That's
supplies.
supplies. Okay, yeah, well, I'll change that up, back up to 10,000. I can't imagine you can get by with 1,000.
And it's only gonna go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only gonna go up.
So yeah, everything below salaries, I mean, what were you putting in? 10, 20% increase on a lot of them, just because of prices?
Yeah, majority of it's going up. You know, backflows are going up, testing on those went up. Everything's inflation. Majority of the numbers I put in were numbers that I could get by with. I mean, our elevator cost is gonna go up again next year. Our fees for the elevator service are gonna go up. So that's all taken account for in there, unless, the fire department, or fire, whatever the company is that gives us our safety tax, raises it again, so. I try to get as much as I can get in there. I don't know anything about, I've heard, there might be water costs going up, there might be electric and gas going up, but I haven't heard anything more on that, so. But we'll just go with the numbers and see what happens.
Yeah.
You go over to the budget. Is there any line items
Oh.
that we're changing from yours to the commission besides that?
Yeah, that mistake, that's it, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had some good change too.
I had a
do
note
not.
to myself, I guess the first time we went through here about something on 319 with that, 319 Adams generator, what was that about?
319.
The new,
Oh, we had added into to our contract.
okay.
For the
So did that raise a
general
number in here somewhere then?
Probably under professional.
Under professional services, yeah,
Yeah.
raised it some, yeah.
Equipment services contract.
Equipment service.
Oh, okay.
So we went up to 20,800.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the
From-
explanation for the increase.
17,000
Final, okay.
amended budget from last year.
And backflows went from, station comes on, we'll have some more there. So it's just, it keeps snowballing.
Speaking of snowballing, did we ever bid out snow removal? We've done grass cutting, we did that one time.
And, when Jeff, or, you know, when Jeff was, Chris was still here, and it was pretty high. We only had one bid back on it, I think that was, I think it might have been Gaines, but I'm not sure on that. And it was way up there.
I didn't remember what it was, but I don't know, it's just something that seems like it would be probably more efficient for somebody else to do, and it would take it off of our hands. Our maintenance guys can stay on maintenance stuff and not have to worry about the summertime and how long does it take to do the grass, you know, a couple days a week, every week, we lose them.
Half day half day usually at Prayer, EMS, and
You just look at all the equipment we have, you know,
it's all in
we
good
wouldn't
shape too.
have to
so.
wouldn't have to keep it, maintain it, store it, so.
I know Public Works, was talking about our lots, but they said they weren't gonna do our sidewalks. And it's almost like when it snows, it just keeps snowing and keeps snowing. So you've gotta keep going over it and putting chemicals down and stuff. I don't know if we could get a contractor who would do it that diligently, that often.
That would be the biggest fear.
People do it all the time. All kinds of businesses have snow removed. They don't close down just because it's snowing. Keep going. I don't know, I just think it's something that'd be worth looking into.
The
We
only
can
other-
bid it. I think it's gonna be prohibitive, but that's just me. I know, seems like we get a lot of snows on Sundays, and I see Greg up here with his, out plowing the sidewalks. And, of course, we'll end up with more sidewalks there at the new EMS building as well. That hill's gonna be a pitch.
Yeah, and then that parking lot we're renting, we got that now to clean too, so.
Oh,
All right.
would that be a Public Works?
It's gonna be too tight for them to get in there with their big trucks, so we'll just
Okay.
have to do it.
Okay.
I looked at it with Kevin, so.
Okay.
Just something in the future you guys.
We
might
can
wanna
bid
consider.
it, Jeff. I don't,
See if you can find that old bid. I mean, that should get us in the ballpark. I don't remember what it was.
I will look and see if I can find it. No guarantees.
Anything else on any of the non-salary items? Or anything
I don't
else?
think so.
it's just kind of a guess.
It is a lot of
It's
guessing.
a guess.
It is a lot of guessing in this department, because you gotta pay the utility bills, you gotta pay the trash bills, whatever, yeah. It's
And if it
just,
breaks, you gotta fix it.
yeah,
Hence you see a lot of transfers this time of year.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, okay.
Uh,
So salaries? I got,
I approached you guys to come to 18 across the board. I did the 4% COLA for the lowest individual. And then whatever the difference was between that and the $18 is how I figured everybody else's numbers.
so basically you wanna get to a minimum of, say, 37.8,
Somewhere around there,
that's $18 an hour.
yeah.
That's for your least experienced person who started,
Yeah.
3 months ago.
Yep.
Okay, all right,
And we're teaching him, he's learning.
yeah, okay.
I think everybody likes him, I haven't heard any complaints yet, so.
Okay. So that total request would be, the COLA for your department would be about 11.2. And you're asking for additional adjustment of 26.6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in the same place I was a while ago, throw it in a merit pool, and then Sheila, throw it on you. I think when Sheila gets done with it, it's gonna be at the 18, but I think that gives us something to actually go on, so. That's just kinda where I was at with it.
I'm probably there with you, but the math of 18 times 2,080 is just a little over 36, right?
I don't have,
Well,
He's at
37,440.
18.17 right now.
I'm sorry.
He's at $18.17 right now for the lowest on here.
And there's $36 or $360 in there for phone bill.
oh yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
I
cell
understand
phone.
that, but
stipend in there
So
too.
why,
I used your old spreadsheet, I don't know. I put the numbers in.
It's
18.
20. 2080, is that what it
Times
is?
2080.
So are you taking the
That's
amount that?
37,400.
37,440 is what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what gets people up to 42,000 and change then? What, like the last line on there?
Did you take it, what they're over, their pay grade, the starting pay grade, whatever they're over, and add it to the 37,440, I think?
Yeah, I
You're
just,
keeping the spread or
I
something?
kept the spread,
Okay,
yes.
so that makes.
I think.
Yeah, I kept the spread. I just, whatever the difference was on the lowest person, I went ahead and did that
And then you.
across the board.
Okay.
That way we're not just figure we're compressing everything.
And then what would that do with your deputy director?
It's same thing, he got the same thing as everybody else. We did the 4% and then he's at a little over 50,
Okay.
if you all.
Right under 50 without the cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so there's an adjustment there.
Yeah, it's adjustment across the board for everybody.
Just, what was brought to my attention, I missed that on the sheriff's, so.
Oh.
Watching that closer now, compression, you know.
Yeah. Compression.
He's got his earphones in. He's not listening to me. Hurt my feelings. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I was at with that, as far as.
Put it in
like
a salary
in a
pool. All right, okay.
And it's gonna be a busy year for Sheila.
But that's why we have her. So if we just ignore her, don't use her, then it, yeah.
All right. That it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you wanna talk capital with Greg again? or
Let's
you
go.
Oh,
guys
yeah,
comfortable?
yeah.
Yeah, so.
What page is that on?
108?
118.
It's back in the back there.
And I'm not suggesting you give approval on any of this now. You guys have that pleasure with this sales tax, is to let Greg come back to you. And there are other departments involved in these requests too, so not just Greg's, but the high dollar ones are probably Greg's.
I don't think anything belongs on this schedule that's less than X thousand dollars. I'm not sure what X is, but we don't need a small hand blower of $400 on our capital improvement sales tax.
Sorry, sir, I just haven't, that was my capital project for myself, not the other.
No, but, okay.
And we have the recorder we're working on.
Just
Yes.
kind of the way the schedule's always been.
I understand, but to me, to put a 5-year capital improvement sales tax, is this part
Oh,
of
yeah,
this?
yeah, it's a 5-year, yeah, it
So-
renews every 5 years.
Yeah, you know, when we tell the public we're gonna collect, is it 5 million a year? What is it?
15% of the,
For the
15.
total?
The total capital improvement sales
Not a
tax
million.
is $5 or $6 million a year, isn't it?
More than
It's
that.
about 8.
8?
8 million a year, 15% of it goes here, and then we're listing things that cost $400.
Yeah.
We're wasting ink.
Well, we don't.
You want that in
really
some
spend
other
any-
small separate line item?
Somewhere
other
else.
Capital, other equipment, something like that?
Miscellaneous or something.
Okay.
That's where I thought he used to,
Okay.
thought that's where he used to put it.
Well, we, basically, if the value of it doesn't last 5 years or more of what we're buying, it doesn't come out of capital. It never has, but he just lists.
I understand, but
All right,
this is under my penny philosophy.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
You'll never see it again, sir.
All right.
Well, we scratched some,
Yeah.
and then we're
again,
working on some, the recorders. I have a note on new postage machine.
Right.
So do we know a price on that?
It's about what we figured is about 15,000, but, when we looked at the current carrier, but we would have to bid it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
But I'll wait to come back
Put
and
about
ask for permission
15,000.
next year. It's kind of end of life at the end of next year is what I understand.
oh, so you don't want that added this year?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you do want
Yeah,
a
I'm-
postage
Yeah, I
machine
thought-
added this
Well,
year?
I'll come back and ask
Okay.
you if we can bid it.
They put in like 15,000? Okay, all right.
Yep.
Then let's say under building maintenance, what do you want out of there? Just those two, the small
Those
blower,
two
hand
things.
blower,
Yeah. I did.
new truck? Nope.
We've got
Oh,
to do
yeah,
that.
that truck's gotta stay on the list. It's
It's
not gonna
gotta
fall
go.
off the.
Right, no, now I'm asking, what do you want on there? Yeah, you want the new truck?
Yeah, the new truck's a
That
bigger
stays,
price
okay.
tag.
The floor machines, you want those on there? They should.
I mean,
Take 'em
45 to
off.
5,000.
Take them off.
Take them off?
Take 'em
Okay.
off.
All right.
It's one of those things,
They've been in your request for like 5 years.
I want to buy them, but I don't want to buy them because we're not doing VCT anymore, so.
Okay, so take them off. Okay, so the only thing, equipment-wise, you're asking for is a new truck?
Yeah,
Okay.
Where are those floor machines, just to strip the,
strip and wax, strip, wax and buffing.
yeah, I don't remember, we just did some down at the Lions Club, I forgot how much it was to have somebody come and do it, so, you know, for the price of the machines, we might be able to pay somebody to come and do it once a year, or however often.
And we're not doing the VCT anymore, we're using the vinyl planks, which you
Yeah.
don't have to wax and buff, so.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you there. And then the truck, we were talking about that earlier, he's got a couple different ideas on that, so that. that's
28.5,
probably
an
gonna be
okay
something.
number?
I don't know on that anymore.
Seems kind of low.
Thought I put 38.5.
38.5? Okay.
We'll just-
Yeah, it seems low.
28.5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless you get a used one,
Okay,
The used one's not gonna be cheaper.
Yeah.
Have you seen the price of them things
but,
lately?
yeah,
all right.
No, that
I'm
other
just
one's
gonna
in
have to,
bad shape.
You know,
40,000?
it is.
we're looking
Max.
at just either a half ton or 3/4 ton, regular cab, no
I
bed.
just put a 40 in there, I think, for might be
Okay,
closer.
all right,
We're just,
Nothing special.
okay.
yeah, he was
Vinyl
looking at
crank,
the,
crank windows.
And do
I
they
need a
make
work
those
truck like
anymore? Those were old farm trucks. I don't think they make a farm truck anymore.
Okay, then go over the building projects again, since you're involved in that. We want the elevator module in Carnegie Building,
It's
that's
been on
been in there
as
for
long
like
as I-
5 years.
As long as I've been here, that's
That
been
one-
on there.
I don't want to touch, because if we go to do that, we're gonna have to add sprinklers, fire, detections, all kinds of other stuff. And that's gonna take that number and double it.
So take it out? You don't want to address it next year?
We'll see if we need to do it next year.
Okay, so take it out of 2024? Okay,
Okay.
And again, this is just a placeholder total.
Right.
So things are gonna change as needs change throughout the year, so.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be like the sheriff's building, you know, you could lose a rooftop, we have to go in and replace all those rooftops next year. We don't know that, so,
That doesn't come
does that come out of this, or? is that-
No,
okay.
that's,
He's got his own money.
he's got his own money.
Okay.
Okay. Health building, they got their awnings, right?
Yeah,
Take that
awnings are
out. Paint exterior and repairs, still want that in there?
Yes.
Replace outdoor siding, leave
I
that
got
in?
that twice, I had to get in there twice. Cause we got paint exterior and repairs,
Oh.
one price, and then I guess somebody else replaced the outdoor siren.
I thought I was just going off your list.
I think I had it twice in there, but maybe I did,
Is that different? Siding's different from painting?
yeah.
I mean, do they both need to be in there?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Sprinkler system, leave that in?
I didn't know anything about a sprinkler system, sir. So I'm assuming leave it in there.
So we're adding a sprinkler,
I
not a
guess-
sprinkler system now, or is there?
And I guess this is for their shrubs and their lawn.
is this the fire
outdoor.
suppression?
No,
No, oh, okay.
Goes out,
Outdoor sprinkler system.
That's a irrigation more than it is sprinkler. Well, it does sprinkle, but
Okay,
sprinkler is.
right, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's like-
I had a note about properly maintained, and I didn't,
well, I assume it's outdoor irrigator.
That's what I'm thinking it is too.
Okay, maybe get a clarification on
I didn't put it in, so I don't
it.
know.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
I didn't have it on my spreadsheet.
okay.
I did replace the lawn sprinkler out front so we can get some grass, so it doesn't look so bad.
That looks pretty tacky.
Yeah, so,
All right. Shepherd's Building, floor drains,
I think
150,000,
we're
still
good.
want that in there?
I think like Jeff and I talked, we're just gonna let it go for right now.
Take it out?
well, we put some different things there to try to
Yeah,
mitigate the water issue.
the
So,
water and then, cover the drains with those steel plates. So
And it may get back on the list in a year. We haven't had any rain in so long, we don't know what,
yeah.
if it's gonna work.
Take it out, okay.
Yeah.
Old jail, tear down the building. What do you want to put in?
We can't just tear it down. We need holding cells for the sheriff, we need the Sally Port, so, yeah, tear it down, then we're gonna have to do some additions to it, just to make it work, until we do replace.
Just want to put a
it.
placeholder number in
I
there for
would-
next year?
I just think that needs to stay on there, even though
You
it's
can
gonna
leave it
kinda
on
be
there, but I
indefinitely.
think
At $1 million, just leave it on
I
there
don't
for
think that's
that?
gonna-
it was
for now?
substantially
That's
less
not
when we
gonna
had
touch it.
Aaron's
That's
bid,
not gonna
that's
touch it.
not,
I think the term ought to be demo instead of tear down.
How about
That's a
implode?
tear down anyway.
How about
We
implode?
cry when we tear it down.
well, we had Johnny Paycheck stayed there in 1978, that's,
You better stop talking now.
oh,
You're getting the historical consequences.
but we can put a plaque up.
I just, that $1 million mark's not gonna do it, cause tearing it down and then we'll have to build a Sally Port or tear it down to the
Well,
Sally Port and put a roof on it. It's gonna have
Holding
to be a Sally
cells,
Port there.
holding cells are gonna be an issue
So,
too,
no, that's
so.
included with the Sally Port would, so I just think it's gonna be a big number and
Yeah, and we don't know where we're gonna find more man, move electric lines, water lines, sewer lines, who knows?
And you can have
Do
a
you want-
standalone meeting on this too.
Put demo building, et cetera, and put a $1 million placeholder there, just,
Okay.
Or implode. I like implode.
Well, we just keep letting it go the way it is, it'll fall in on its own.
It's getting there.
that thing is not.
How do you
gonna
want to
fall
term
down.
it? Demo?
It might get moldy, it's not gonna
Demo.
fall down.
demo, et cetera.
Et
Demo
cetera.
building, comma, et cetera.
Okay.
Because
I think we need to see what we're doing with the youth center, and what kind of money we spend on that, and then where we're at from there, and I think demo the old jail and get the new stuff set up, that way we can take care of the other old jail, or old courthouse, because there's a lot of mechanical issues over
We're
there that are
talking-
gonna have to
we're
be adjusted
talking
to.
Big bucks.
All
And
right.
if you really wanna sit down and have fun, we can sit down and have a 20-year, long-term plan for what we see over there.
Mhm.
At least 5.
I don't know if you got that much money to take care of it in 5 years.
Hmm.
Okay, next one. Adams
Okay.
Building, need to replace the rooftop unit still?
Yeah, that's the one we didn't do. We were gonna try to hold off for as long as we could. According to the guys, the AC compressors both went out in it. The coil looks like somebody from Blackbird's garage was up there beating with hammers. So, and the heat exchangers getting real thin on it.
Okay. Leave it in, 42,000?
That's gonna be probably high, but yeah,
That will be high?
I'm hoping it'll be high.
Okay.
I'm hoping it'll be a lot cheaper than that.
All right. Everything else is
Public Works.
something else, yeah, not you, so. Okay.
There'll be hail damage, maybe call insurance,
Probably tornadoes, but we didn't own the building at the time.
Okay, anything else you want to talk about on that list right now? Move on.
No, we've got the recorder we're working on, so that can, I don't know if we want to take it off of there.
Steve walked in first, I think.
I'm sorry?
I think Steve walked in first, but.
Is he on here?
C is before.
You're talking
I'm
about the
sorry.
list,
I was
the
still doing
recorder
ca- I
has
was
two
still
things
on
on the
capital
list,
improvement.
yeah.
I
Okay.
think
Gotcha.
the rest of it, somebody else needs to help us with,
Okay.
whoever's sitting in
Okay.
the chair.
Yeah, as far as the recorder, I was gonna, this Judy's
Right here.
behind me now. She wasn't here earlier, I was gonna get with her. After talking with Jeff about the cabinets, I was just gonna have her go out. You said LaBelle on those cabinets?
I did.
Yeah, I just got a price on it, so we knew what we were dealing with.
Good, big color, all that.
Yeah,
So that'll be coming off.
yeah. We have a quote.
It should be, I mean, it's under what that amount was.
And the faucet.
We were just talking about it when we were talking about capital during the first
Yeah,
budget talk,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's when I went down there and looked at it, so I'll get you a price on it.
Yeah,
And we got a price together, and so
yeah.
threw it in Greg's lap from here.
Order
Jeff said he'll do it on a Saturday.
I ain't doing it on Saturday. I'm doing it on a regular day.
Okay.
All right?
That'll be a teaching situation for him, teacher.
Anything else?
Do cabinet work.
I charge for that.
I've seen his work, he's good. We're good.
Courts, we're trying to do something with the large courtroom.
Right,
We haven't
yeah.
gotten,
Well, we went over and looked at it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when we got done talking about that. And there's some wallpaper that's been painted and stuff, so we're just talking today about it. See if there's some way to get that wallpaper set back down, someplace where it's bubbled, and I think there's some things we can do with it, so.
We'll get it fixed.
Anthony's young, we can get him up on a ladder that tall, right? So that's some stuff.
I think everything else.
Move on?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks.
The chairs are being fixed or replaced or
Yeah.
redone.
I just want to make sure you get that grant money in.
Right,
I didn't put it in
yeah.
last year, so we don't know what it is yet, but can you put in like?
We gotta, put yeah. I
12,
just-
5 or 13?
Right, so,
You already know about it?
yes.
Okay,
I made
that's all I
note.
wanted.
Do you want to talk about anything else? Salaries, anything?
I thought we already talked about them in the other meeting.
Yeah.
You just had, you had three small, no, yeah, oh,
Uh,
one of the two?
That's all,
He's
that's all we
asking
had, I mean, we
for-
wanted to get,
He's asking for 1,000 for one, 2,000 for another, 1,000 for third. So, total 4,000 you're asking for.
we'll
Okay.
take whatever you give us. I mean, if you want to give us more of a pool, I mean, that's up to you all, whatever you all want to do. If you're going to give 4%, that's pretty nice too, so. But yeah, I'd like to at least keep those up, those three up for sure, if you can do it.
That's the same way on, throw it into a merit pool at the end and then have Sheila look at the positions again, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'd probably bring it more in line with where everybody else is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
I
on,
just wanted to make sure.
just go over on page 31, county clerk's budget, under have a grant, revenue, and then have expense. We just overlooked putting any numbers in this year, and we asked for a budget adjustment because he spent money, well, he got money and spent it. But I guess what happens is you don't know the exact number until January, so till right after the budget's approved. So what I'll do is add a placeholder number, 12,000. Is 12 or anything more?
No, what's the last year, or 2 years ago? It's always been around 12.5.
Yeah.
So we used to
12,
get it
okay, so
every-
put it a little higher, like 13, 14,
Yeah.
just so it's covered.
So it's-
But it's in and out. It
Even
won't.
numbered years that count.
We get it every year.
Well, this Have a Grant is about
Well,
the
the
same
Have-
every year, right? Yeah. yeah.
So they used to give it to us at our conference. So we went to September conference, well, they give us our grant money right then. Well, since the new Secretary of State, we don't get it till the end of the year.
Oh.
So I don't know why, but it's always really late. Well, we're already in budget process. So last year we got the grant, well, we already had all this.
Yeah,
in
we
place, so-
should have put a number in there last year, we just
Didn't think
didn't.
about it.
But now we'll just put an estimated number in there.
Okay.
But we
But
should get
it's, but
it.
it's same top and bottom, it doesn't affect the bottom line.
What's HAVA stand for?
Help America
America.
Vote Act.
Help America.
Back in
Vote Act.
2020.
Goes back to
2002 when they bought all the
Chad
electronic
2020
equipment.
election after that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Hanging Chad was 2000.
Or 2000, I'm not 2020, 2000, I meant 2000.
In 2000, when the Hanging Chad came, they made everybody buy electronic equipment. That's the Help America Vote Act. They put all that money into it, and we bought all this equipment. Yeah, that was our first electronic voting equipment back then.
That's a good trivia question.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
that?
glad I knew the answer.
And again, I would point out, this is 2024 is an election, big election year, so your numbers are higher on election expense on both revenue and expenditure side, so.
That's exactly.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We'll
We'll take
keep
about a
posted.
5-minute recess if we could.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
It's Christmas, but that's okay.
She's coming sometime, yeah, 9:30-ish or so, maybe. I just put in some times, yeah, tentative times.
So we have, this past year, in the main topic of that, the problem for us is we
So you're
have
gonna
all
do
the
this,
stuff
I'll make you a copy of,
we check.
John's.
I
think about it.
Notary, it's not that you report it, because it's, well, if it has an original signature. Right. The notary stamp has a number on it. We do not know and check that. The Secretary of State on the website, you can actually go in and check that. We don't do that. We just don't do that. I think they told me that we didn't distribute the pushes back. We said, if we start going in and checking each one, because I always wanted to do that because of what's going on. And then you miss one, you become more liable. I don't know if that's so, I need an attorney's opinion on that. You become more liable because you're setting on the standard of checking it. And if one of the employees don't, then it's not valid. So right now, it is not a statutory requirement for us to do that. I don't know if next year something will change for us to do that. But when it comes in, the document or the signed, notarized, dated, has the correct legal description. As far as we know, it's valid, it looks valid. I don't know what is going to become of all of that, because St. Louis City got hit twice within a couple months apart. For that same reason. And that's what they're doing. They're processing the deed, and then they're going to the bank, and they're skipping down, and put that money.
So in a case like that,
Are you still awake?
Yeah, I had seen them at breakfast last Sunday.
So we call it, and we kick it down.
Well, no.
For us, because most staff is going to work with our title companies, and we get them in the mail.
So they have to share the night.
Holding off right now, but I think we need to let him know something today or tomorrow. I'd like to give him an answer today, because he's got something he's supposed to be at tomorrow. So, like I said, I don't have the magic number. I don't know how we missed this whenever we were doing that in August. Debbie said she caught it. She probably even mentioned it to me, but I saw something shiny. And,
My son lived out there.
yeah, so I think we gotta do something with it. I'm not sure what yet.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree, it's not, the lieutenants should make more than sergeants or whatever. That makes perfect sense.
It's owed, they owe
That's
it.
been a few months, you know, something like that.
I would just like to have a reason
Owed it.
for the number. You know, you have 7, because that's what it was before, so that's, I understand where it's coming from.
The practice.
But there was
We
a,
bought it.
that's
And the taxes weren't paid.
what do you have, 3, 2, and 1, so that's 6 changes there. And there was about 15 other ones that he was wanting adjustments to.
Those were like those 4, 8, 12-year, every 4 years, that we were, yeah, and then one more.
That was just an adjustment, though, that wasn't a.
Right, it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okey
Move on.
dokey.
We got the recorder here, so let's, yours starts on page. 39, okay. Okay, again, another one of my mistakes, I missed an equipment service contract, $1,000, just didn't get transferred over to, budget officer recommended, just an oversight. Everything else, I mean, what I did with the in and out fees, I've just made some adjustments to get the revenue number and the expenditure number the same, at least on budget. I understand there's some timing differences, but,
Yes.
it won't end up the same as actual, but as far as budget purposes, that means, to me, that if you put them the same, it's a net effect of zero, because that's money that just, fees you collect that have to go out, so, yeah. So for the budget, I like for that to be equal, so it has no net effect on the bottom line
Okay.
of the budget, so. So those are the changes I made. And then, for salaries, now, for some reason, mine came up higher than yours, but, I think it,
Yeah, I took my sheet home, I don't have that with me, but I do know what
right, I've got.
done with it, if you have questions on it.
Yeah.
So what I basically, and I did this in July, I just requested the 4% across board with an additional 1,200. My goal was to get everybody at 40, and that's based on the in-house compression I was kind of facing a little bit there, and also based on trying to get an employee for 3 or 4 months. Everybody wanted to start at 40, and I did do some checking with other recorder offices, and they were starting most of them were starting at 41, 42, unless they had greater experience. So I felt going 4% with an additional 1,200 to help those who weren't at the 40 was being conservative, so that's the request I put in.
Okay. So does this look right? Now, there were some mid-year, you did get and approved a little bit of mid-year raises.
Well, with the exception that I didn't receive any additional funds. I've never received additional funds. I've always juggled what I had.
Right.
So that's a little different than receiving additional.
Right, but I'm just showing kind of what happened here, because
Yeah.
just show where everybody's at, where they started in 2020, in the beginning of the year. So basically what happened with Diane Vogel, there was some additional money in the middle of the year, so this is her current salary. COLA, you want to get, like you said, you want to get to a minimum of 40,000. So you're asking
Right.
for a little extra for both her and then also your newest employee who's started or will start?
She started Monday.
Okay.
And she does have some experience, so it's not like she's starting from ground floor,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're asking to get her to 40,000 with a little bit extra adjustment above the COLA.
Correct.
And then for everybody else, it's COLA only?
Yes.
Right,
Unless
okay.
we're doing merits, because
Right.
they all deserve a merit, but I was going conservative, so.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure I got your request accurate.
Yes,
here.
you do.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Plus you're asking for a cell phone stipend for your chief deputy.
I did, so I had asked Brian for a cell phone for myself and chief deputy, and he said at this point that he would be able to give me one with commissioner approval, but he's not sure about chief deputy. And when I looked at the stipend that was given countywide at $600, I had mentioned to Brian, it's actually cheaper to give her a phone because you're about $120 less a year than the $600.
Well, we give out smaller cell phone stipends, like the maintenance people only get like $360, yeah.
Okay,
And, so,
okay. I didn't see that, so.
is that it?
That's it.
Anything else?
Yeah, everything else is good. Usually in December, I start doing transfers. I try to wait as much as I can, so we're not doing like $10, $15, like that. But we have been this month, just a little bit here and there. So otherwise, everything in the budget is just a little bit maybe more than last year. Most of it's the same, but because there were some bigger increases, GFI, things like that, just a little bit. But I think I'm pretty much on budget from last year of what I requested.
You guys have any questions for Judy?
I don't think so.
And per Greg's conversation just now, Jeff, I can go ahead with the installing the cabinet.
Yeah, that's
Do I
what,
need to speak with them, or?
just get ahold of Kristen at LaBelle and go pick out the colors. There's a couple different door style options and colors.
Okay.
And then they get a sink and a faucet too, so it's still under that, well under what we had budgeted in there, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Would be good to have
Yeah.
the kitchen, yeah, that'd be great.
And maybe a sink that, or faucet that's not leaking.
Yeah, get our cups out of boxes, that'd be great. They'll love it. Okay.
We'll be over there
Yes,
using-
and it was under, well under the 2,500, so.
Yeah, that's kind of along the lines of what Harry was saying, don't even need that little stuff on the list if we're gonna do it. Let's get a price on it. and
Do
move
you still
around.
need 2 office chairs? Is it too late to get those this year? They were in this
I
year's
don't-
budget too.
Yeah, I
so.
don't replace those unless somebody complains of a back issue or if a chair breaks. So I just carried those over so that I would have it included if I should need it, but no, I don't need them currently.
Okay. It sounds like the commission wants to maybe start taking some of those small items out of that capital list, and maybe we'll add another line item to the 700 budget of just like furniture and, or
Miscellaneous.
yeah, furniture and equipment or something like that.
Ah, okay.
Not miscellaneous, maybe
Not
it's
miscellaneous.
furniture and equipment, yeah. Okay, all right,
Okay,
okay.
well, good, and Jeff, you'll let me know when you can install, is that the plan?
Yeah, not on a Saturday.
No, that'd be great with me.
My,
Okay.
Do we get overtime on Saturdays?
yeah,
Exempt.
It's the same overtime you get
Elected.
working after 5.
Debbie, go away. I'm already exempted. Man. All right.
okay,
Okay, we have the health department here,
Health
so
department.
talk about their budget.
yep.
Okay,
All right.
that is
57.
page 57, 58, so.
Hello. Can I make a comment about like the furniture and stuff in like apparel? I think it'd be really great if we had like a contract with somebody. So if we need a new office chair, it's not call around and see how much they are. Let's look at Staples. Let's look on Amazon. Let's whatever. We just know. We call, you know, Debbie at whoever and we get a chair.
There's some
Or-
on state contract, aren't there?
We tried to do that, but I'm just saying, if we just knew, because this is who you call, it would save a lot of time. And even like a pair, like shirts, like we had one of our grants allowed us to order some shirts for staff, so we did that. But I know like Public Works goes to somebody else. We went through somebody, you know, other people have ordered through anyway. If the county just had a contract, it's like, well, if you need apparel, you call this person at this company. If we could probably get it cheaper, and then it would save staff time from calling around to get quotes to try to get the cheapest quote for us. Anyway,
We'll just have to get with Jessica on that and see how we wanted to do that.
Chairs are so, like, I got a new chair for my office and, yeah.
What? You didn't run that fast, though.
I didn't approve that.
You know, I went
if
Did you
you go
vote
to
for
state
that?
Samco
yeah,
and.
if you get the MVE ones, they're like
to,
$800.
yeah,
They made us
MVE was
order those
the
when we worked at the
highest.
state. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You can go to Staples and get one for $100. You know, so I just think if we just knew who to call. Anyway, that was just my 2 cents.
I mean, that's, do we want to do that then? We can direct Jessica to
I don't know.
throw something together. We talked about doing that like with the HVAC,
Yeah,
electrician
plumbing,
and different
plumbing.
stuff, plumber, so we can just
I know there's
make a
so
phone
many
call.
variables on chairs, because I remember when Holly, she was buying some $900 chairs, and I emailed her, I said, what the hell's a
We had dual
$900
power ashtrays.
chair look like? Well, lifetime guarantee, and so she said, we've already had one broke and they replaced it. I'm like, $900 for a chair,
It's too much.
you better do everything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was just a suggestion. So, I think when I came and presented, I gave you guys a paper about my budget. You know, we did get several new contracts in the last few years with that public health infrastructure grant. The ELCED, they keep expanding it, and they said they're gonna extend it to July 2025, but I haven't seen that contract amendment yet, which is frustrating, because you think you have so much time to spend the money, so we're trying to spend it and code our time to things like that, but then if they extend it, it's like, well, then we might have a whole nother year to spend it. The only adjustments I asked for was for our environmental staff. I feel like the rest of the staff, we've kind of compared to market. We did that with the nurses, but the environmental staff, I did not ask for my reserve last year, and they're the ones that haven't really been adjusted to market. I asked for each of them to receive a $4,000 raise, and that's still putting them below what the state starts at, but it's better. And I would say that, you know, we've lost several this year and had to retrain. And the other thing, you know, training costs money, and then with those staff, we can't bill for their inspections, like for childcare, until they're trained. They have to go on six inspections with a state person. So, you know, not only is somebody else having to train them, we can't bill for their inspections, so we're losing revenue there when we have to have a lot of turnover with those positions.
So similar, the schedule I prepared, the requested adjustments, you're asking for 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Increases on 4% COLA, obviously, and then
Right.
in addition to that,
It was-
your 4 environmental staff, right?
Right. It was
Anderson, Gassner.
Weed, Gassner, and then a vacant one.
uh,
I thought I added $4,000.
Was that vacant?
Yeah, that
Oh.
one's vacant now.
Well, let me see what. Oops. Oh, I lost. I can't get to my network. I lost my connection. There.
Yeah, right there.
Uh,
Right, I added $4,000 in for those 4 positions.
Oh, I know why. You put 3% COLA
Oh,
in your
because that's
request.
before, yeah, that was before
All I
knew
did was
this
take the
for.
difference between my 4 and what you requested. That's why I'm
Oh.
So
showing
the
less.
final number comes up the same?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So,
I would still request for them to have it, you know, the 4% COLA and then an additional $4,000.
so you want me to change that?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you need to have 4% COLA. Will you accept that instead of 3?
Yes, please. I would definitely accept that.
Way to talk her into
I
it.
didn't want to
Yeah.
force this on you.
Right. I think all of my staff would appreciate a 4% COLA.
All right, same verse. I'm fine putting the adjustments into the merit, and then let's look at that. I know when you came to us, you said the state was at
55.
55, 8
That
or
puts our
something.
starting salary at 52.
But we're
That's 58.
so much more fun to work
Right, we are.
for Cole County Health.
Well, I mean, an argument for it is that we're constantly replacing them.
Yes.
We get a
And like I
good one
said,
and we,
Yeah.
while we're
and then we
training,
lose 'em.
we can't charge for their inspections.
and I don't think it's because they don't like the job or the place they're working, it's the money.
Correct.
So, yeah, I definitely want to take a look at it, so.
The one that just left said he could make more money at his side hustle than he can at our job, so he left. To do the side hustle full-time.
State has different, they make new employees pay the 4% for retirement. They also make them pay some on their health insurance, so.
And they also get maternity and paternity leave paid, 6 weeks paid. They don't have to use their sick leave, so.
If I get any more grandkids, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home grandpa for the price of daycare.
I know, yeah.
Man,
I
I
don't know how
couldn't
some
believe
of our
that.
staff pay to work, yeah.
I thought
Daycare's
affording a
crazy.
house was crazy, but then have a couple of kids nowadays. Whew.
Right. So, and then the other thing, I hate to bring it up, but the brain injury contract, hopefully we will get an increase in that in July. Historically, you know, when the previous auditor was here, she always talked about that contract paying for all of that person, and this year it did not. So. But they did say we're supposed to, they asked the legislature for an increase in that contract, so,
So we're losing it, or we're losing that person?
no. The contract just didn't pay for all of it. The county had to pitch in some general revenue.
Is it a line in our revenue?
It's in revenue.
5986.
Third from the bottom
59802.
on page 57.
I'll hit enter.
So 66.8 is the estimated
That's what it is, period.
revenue. Oh, that, okay.
That's it, that's what the
amount.
contract is.
Okay.
We
All
get
right.
in, it's from July to June, our budget's January to December, but it's,
And
And
it
then-
covers multiple counties, right?
right.
She covers.
She serves, yeah, multiple
Now,
counties.
we pay that person currently 53.9. Maybe tack on 4% COLA,
And then her mileage.
56.4, well, plus benefits, so her total cost is 77, just salary and benefits, 77.5 alone, so, yeah. So we're about 10,000.
Plus her
less.
mileage.
Okay.
She usually has $200 to $300 in mileage every month. And then the other thing, if you wanted to talk about the nurse practitioner, the current one we have, her contract lasts until April or May, right?
Our cloud of practice, we sign in September.
Okay, but her contract,
Our contract.
I don't know, anyway, I need to look, but she did ask for an increase for the next year. Currently, we pay her $500 a day, no matter how many clients she sees, and she's asking for it to go up to $750.
Ooh,
So I know we had talked about putting a nurse practitioner in that could almost function as urgent care, and I would request that we have that nurse practitioner also be able to serve those family planning clients. You know, right now we do it twice a month. If we did it, if they could make appointments anytime for those services, it would serve our clients better. They wouldn't have to wait. And then we also would discontinue the contract with the current nurse practitioner. I think we'd have more clients too, because people get tired of waiting, so they try to find somewhere else, or they just don't go to the doctor for that, which is an issue too, so.
So what line item is the current nurse?
We pay her out of
Is that professional services?
We pay her,
So-
and we pay Dr. Kaywood out of, actually, this time we pay Dr. Kaywood out of the ELC grant, but typically we pay Dr. Kaywood out of that.
Okay.
And,
So we're spending about 15,000 a year on the current nurse practitioner.
you know, twice, no, 12,000. She comes twice a month, $500 a time.
Okay, no.
Sometimes we'll cancel if we only have one person.
Where's the line? What line am I looking for to see?
On page 58, toward the top, professional services.
Like I said, other things are paid out of that besides just
Oh,
the nurse
okay.
practitioner.
I can,
Dr. Kaywood, typically.
let's see what we got in there. Let's pull up the budget.
This year, we paid Dr. Kaywood's fee out of ELC.
Just like the nurse practitioner, 10,000, it would, this,
For 23?
Oh, no,
That's what we
that's-
budget, okay.
yeah.
So this year we should pay.
Oh, okay, yeah, so right now in this year's budget, we got nurse practitioner 10,000, Dr. Kaywood 5,000, total 15,000. That's the budget request for next year. So,
And that will cover her, the nurse practitioner, if she's $750 a trip.
No, we'd have to
that will not-
increase
we'd
it.
have to increase
I
it.
guess she just told me that last week when she was there. But Dr. Kaywood's fee this next year can come out of ELC again. I won't have to pay it out of county revenue. I can pay it out of that contract for another year.
Is that,
59120.
I would like to look into seeing maybe if we can put a nurse practitioner on our staff, because I, just talking to some other governmental entities and stuff, I think we can actually, we can keep her busy.
for 150,000 extra money out of the general fund? Total, salary and benefits, so.
While I have the ELC contract, I could bill part of her time to that because she would certainly do COVID testing and consultation. That's one of the things we could do. So while I have some of those contracts, I could bill her or his time to that. But those contracts aren't gonna be forever. They keep saying that we're gonna get more public health money, but that ELC contract that we have, that they said.
They just took some away from us, you said, for the brain injury.
No, they haven't taken it away. They just haven't increased it in years. So as her salary and mileage goes up, we're using all of that contract. It's been 66.8 for the last
Okay.
probably 8 years.
I thought you said they reduced it.
No.
Okay.
But, you know, as I have those extra contracts, I can certainly pay for it with that funding, because the rest of us, like, I had hours built in there for the staff to do contact tracing and keep track of cases. Well, we're not doing that anymore. So I have extra personnel money in ELC. I could bring you that budget, or send it to you if you'd like to see it. So I could, put it towards that position, especially if it's COVID related, and they would certainly do COVID testing.
And do we do that COVID testing today?
No, but we would, because the new machines test for flu.
COVID, RSV.
One swab, put in the machine, it tells you what you got or what you don't got.
And
We
that
would be
takes,
doing
that
that.
takes someone, a licensed nurse.
Yes.
Is there anyone in our office who can do that now?
I think we could.
We could if we got it or add it to our standing orders from Dr. Catewood.
But the problem is if they come in and they have flu, or it's not RSV, or it's not the other things, and they need a prescription, our staff
We
can't,
can't do that.
we can't treat, we can't write a prescription. So we could say, oh, this is what you have,
But we can't
good
do
luck to
anything
you.
about it.
We can't do anything about it. With the nurse practitioner, we could. We could give them an antibiotic, or Tamiflu, or, you know,
Sally, most quick cares now are nurse practitioners. On the news last night, they were talking, JCMG has a clinic in Fulton that's staffed by a nurse practitioner.
I think the one,
And,
Cap Regions at
Is
Hy-Vee.
Hy-Vee is a nurse practitioner. In my experience last week with nurse practitioners was very good, so.
My thought on a nurse practitioner is a nurse practitioner something the public wants us to do? Not it's something that we want to do. We could, quote, keep them busy.
Mhm.
Is that a service, that service that would keep them busy, is that a service the public wants us to provide?
I think that it probably doesn't happen as much as it used to, because they know we don't have anybody there, but I know there's been time where staff, clients have been there like for a week, and their child might be sick or have a rash, and they would ask us if anybody could see them while they're there. I know that going to a regular urgent care takes a long time and it can be expensive, and so they wait, and then they just go to the ED. So, you know, and then because they can't be turned away, and you don't have to have insurance, and you can be seen. So if we could provide some of those services at the health department at a lower rate, I think the public would like that. I think that we currently don't offer some of the STD or other services for men, and that is a huge need. So men are having issues, and they don't get seen, or they show up at the ED at 10 o'clock at night because they are in pain.
Maybe the ED, maybe the local EDs would like to help us fund this.
I wasn't looking so much as opening it to public. I mean, if that happens, it happens. I was looking at more of trying to help our health insurance and as a benefit to the employees, so the public part would just be over
I
and
think of all.
above, so. I think it's worth looking into overall,
I do too.
but when we went and looked at the other place, theirs was an employee benefit, and it actually helped them with their health insurance.
When I got their employees back to
Considerably.
work quicker too.
Yeah.
So, right, so we had a number in there that we placed for that, it was 105, or you said 150.
Well, when you add all
salary.
benefits, you're
By
gonna
time,
get close to 150.
Yeah.
So, and what else
You
would
will
we
be
need
at
to do that?
150, yeah.
So,
And then we, Dana, it was about 27,000 with like some
105
supplies, you know,
in
like the
salaries.
machine.
I didn't put anything,
you know.
I didn't put anything in.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
something
looked it up.
we should look into, and
That's
What
the
else-
only major
say, what else do
difference
you want us to look
between
into?
her request and my recommended. I did not put that in at all, so. I guess,
Okay,
okay,
the
so if you do that,
placeholder.
at least the $10,000 will go away that we're
Yeah.
currently paying, which will go up some too. if we keep
Right,
the same
right.
agreement,
She's
but, yeah.
requesting 750.
look into, fine, budget and do it today. I don't like the optics of going out there and seeing 3 elected officials standing in line to see our nurse practitioner. And it could happen.
But if it's
I mean,
keeping our
we
health
give
costs
very
down.
high, we give a really good health insurance benefit to all our employees already. We pay 100%, we pay 50% of beneficiaries, so I'm kind of, I mean, I don't have a final say on this, but I'm kind of leaning toward Harry. Is this?
So when we
to
pay
me,
for an
this is
office
a- this
visit,
is
what do we
a little bit of
pay?
a luxury
What do we
than
pay
a
for an office
necessity.
visit? What do we pay for an office
It's a
visit?
the employee pays about.
No,
No,
I mean,
we-
what does
but
the
what
county,
do
I'm
we
talking about the
pay?
county,
It's
our bottom
discounted way
line.
down. The employee pays when they go, and then we pay a discounted price because we're in the UMR network.
Right.
So it's it depends what kind of doctor.
So every
what the
time they have a
coverage are.
visit, you take that money instead of having to pay that. That's where our nurse practitioner is being funded from.
I don't think it would ever cover itself.
I would beg to differ.
I just don't know if the employees would actually.
And I think it'd be a nice benefit too, to have a place where you
I
can
think
go
if
and
they
not
can
sit
get
in
in out
line
of
for 2
there
hours.
quicker.
It's
and-
only 8 to 5. We don't have weekends, we don't have nights. If you check into urgent cares, that's when they're hit, is weekends and nights.
No,
I've
they
never
close
gone
at-
to an urgent
they
care.
close at 6, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're,
you guys close at what time?
Yeah.
But an urgent care, the bill we get from an urgent care is gonna be considerably higher.
I don't know.
I think it would pay for itself.
Well, I think it's something we need to look at and maybe, put a pencil to it and see.
Again, I don't have final say, but it needs some study, needs some kind of
Yeah, it's not
cost-benefit
something-
analysis.
I think it's hard
Be
to
my
predict. Like, I
recommendation.
don't know what other information you want us to look for, because I think it's hard to predict. Like I said, we had done a survey a couple years ago, but I don't think that's valid. There's been so much turnover, and healthcare has changed so much. I mean, you can barely get into a doctor.
I agree
now.
with that. I mean,
Yeah.
They direct you to urgent care. How many urgent cares we have in this community? We have a lot, so, I mean, nobody has a problem getting into urgent care.
You just have to wait, I guess. I don't know.
that they should be able to tell us how many times we
Identify.
pay. That should get us a good number.
Yeah,
And, that could either enforce my argument or shut me the hell up.
I'm like Jeff, I'd like to look and see what that cost is.
So find it there.
Because the numbers may not be there to support it, and then we just have to, okay, we looked at it, move on. So,
Yeah, so I don't think we have access to that data.
we do, right?
I
You're
think-
saying
I
we
do,
as health,
I do.
right?
I think UMR can tell us how many times a county employee went to an urgent care and ran it through the UMR insurance, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine. Let's get those stats. Even after we get those stats, I'm gonna think, look, we have a great insurance coverage here for the employee, and for an employee to go out there to the health department and get in the way of citizens who that's their only choice, I don't like it. And I think it would, it would be a benefit to elected officials as well as employees, and the optics of that is ugly, in my opinion. But I'm only one.
Well, I think let's get that information, because that can shut it down, or it can
Yeah.
give us some
It might blow
Fire.
our mind on what,
to move forward. It may just shut it down right away, but I just think government's one of the most inefficient businesses around, so I don't want to use that to judge anything else, but when a private business has their own practitioner and they do it, there's got to be something to it. And they have the same kind of insurance we got. Partially self-insured.
400 employees versus thousands of employees too.
Mm-mm,
Just go,
about the same number.
No, I mean, whether that cost benefit is there or not.
Well, I meant the company that I was comparing it to I think they have about the same number of employees.
And I
And I
would
mean,
argue
we've
that
already
they would
got
have
a-
less people do it too, because they're a factory. They can't just jump off the line. They had to do it before work or at lunch or after work.
And we've already got a health department, we got room for it, so I mean, they actually stood up a an area to do it, so.
Let's check with UMR.
I think it's worth
that-
looking into.
I think that's gonna be the.
The numbers may
next-
not be there to support
That's
it.
gonna be the next thing that we need to check on. And it
So if we
might-
decide not to do that, we'll have to increase the nurse practitioner fee.
Effective what date?
I have to look at her contract. I don't remember.
I'm sure we signed it in
September. Okay, then we wouldn't have to do it for a while.
Okay.
Because I told her
Okay.
we would have to wait until her contract was up, because she had already signed it for this year. But
And it'll go up about
But we also
50%.
won't have Dr. Kaywood's fee this year, because I'll pay it out of ELC, so we might be fine.
Okay.
Because that's
Oh, okay,
$5,000.
the 15,000 probably cover
Right.
it if you, okay.
Right, because I
Yeah.
will pay Dr. Kaywood's fee out of ELC. I've been trying to use the contracts for everything I can. They're paying for all of our cybersecurity right now, which I hope that when I bill DHS and the money comes in, it's going on your side to the right fund. That's what I was worried about.
I mean, I'm trying to bill out,
Right.
Brian's.
I know, that's what Brian knows. We've been paying, our electronic health record used to come out of Brian's budget. We've been paying for that for the past several years. So I'm trying to pay for everything I can out of those contracts while we got them. Can we also talk about cell phone stipends? I know that we were talking about cell phones versus stipends versus, whatever. I'm a little, yeah, so,
With Brian on that, I mean, I heard this morning that maybe, we have different stipends. And if we have a $600 stipend for somebody, but we can actually give them a phone for $500, why are we paying a $600 stipend? So,
but then so I'll just put myself out there. My stipend's been $600 since I started. It gave me a county cell phone, but in order to get the email on the county cell phone, I have to approve it on my personal phone. Why is, and in order to use my laptop at home, I have to approve it on my personal phone.
And you may say the 600 would cover it, but then there's gonna be upgrades on phones that happen, that's on top of that.
And then there's,
The
yeah.
county's gonna eat that cost when
Right.
there's upgrades on those phones.
And then if they're making it to where you can get to the portal, like if I can get to the portal from my personal phone and approve it on my personal phone, I don't want the county phone because I don't want to have to carry two if I don't have to. And then same, Jen and them are the same way. They don't want to carry two if they don't have to. If they can get to the portal from the Safari on their phone and approve it on their phone, because you're going to have to VPN to in there too, And then there's some people that they don't, like our EMS nurse. She doesn't need a county cell phone to check her email, but she does need to be reached 24/7 if we have a vaccine issue. So I don't want to give her a county cell phone, but I would like to reimburse her something for being on call 24/7. So I think I don't have an answer. I just wanted to say that there's a lot of situations probably to be considered. And if the cell phone stipends are hard to track, well, maybe those positions that are 24/7 just need that 300 or 400 added to their salary and not call it a cell phone stipend if we are asking them to be on call 24/7, like some of us
So we
We're
have
taxed on it anyway, right? So it's the
Right.
same as a salary.
Right, but if you have to track it.
We have no
Anyway.
cell phone policy
Yes,
right now.
Yeah,
We
I
do?
think so, yes.
Okay.
I can send a copy of it.
but I'd rather not carry two if I don't have to. I'd rather have just one.
Oh, amen to
but-
that.
You what?
Said amen to that.
Yeah.
Carrying two phones is ridiculous.
I did that for the state and
I'm doing the same thing on this phone as I'm doing on that phone.
Well, and then everyone has my personal phone. It's like, and I'm not gonna start trying to give out the other one, And if I have to verify the VPN on my personal phone to get the email on the work one,
It's just
Anyway.
a lot of,
IT.
IT.
yeah.
And we just wanna make it easy for staff and easy for IT, we just,
And she's right, there's different amounts, and I've never quite figured that out. but
me
that's
neither.
where we started.
Yeah.
There's different amounts, and it's different positions, and we keep adding positions that need the stipend, so if we come up with an overall county new policy, that's fine.
And right now, all of our stipends, except for Shallon's I bill to the head injury contract, even though it wasn't paid. All of the other stipends at the health department are paid for by the public health and emergency response contract. They're not out of the county budget. Because they require, except I guess the environmental are not, but the other staff are.
I think we need a cell phone retreat. Where
Where we get rid of our cell phones?
Oh, no, no,
man.
no. Well, we all get to bring tomatoes and we put Brian at the end of the
Oh,
table.
no, poor Brian.
Yeah, because, I mean,
Yeah.
he's the answer guy on all of this
Yeah.
stuff.
Anyway, it's probably a further discussion item, but if
I mean,
there is
so-
a discussion, the health department needs to be involved. Or
Yes.
would like to be involved.
To me, cell phone stipends are kind of an antiquated thing. Everybody, back when not everybody had cell phones, I mean, I had a landline for the longest time, finally got
Right,
rid of it.
right, right.
Mark, I had this
Everybody-
argument 10 years ago.
Everybody has cell phones now. What?
Everybody doesn't like
stipend-
to give out their
Well,
Right, if you're asking
Well, then
them to
maybe
use it
they
for
should
county
have
business.
Then they should have county cell phones. If they don't want to use their personal cell phone
Then we
for
need to
county
restrict
business,
it.
then they need a county cell
I
phone.
know, yeah.
I argued the same thing 10 years ago, Mark. It's like, everybody's got one.
Yeah.
You know,
I see
You're
no
gonna come in to
purpose
have one
in,
anyway.
in cell phone stipends.
When you start applying
It's
for a
an
job, do
old
you have a cell
antiquated
phone?
thing, yeah.
Do you agree to let us use it?
Everybody uses their cell phone for everything now, so. Who's not gonna have a cell phone these days, I guess.
But with
That's
health
my
like
point,
HIPAA and
so.
things like that, do we want that to come into your personal?
I guess, I mean, it depends on the whole VPN and how you get into the system. That's an IT question.
Yeah.
All right, I agree. If you don't want to use your personal cell phone for county business, then I understand that. I do not, and I won't. I mean, it's-
Well, for 10
if I
years, I
absolutely
really
have to
didn't
have
a
it,
choice.
then I'll ask
You
for a
know?
county cell phone. I get that.
Yeah. Didn't really
Just to
have
pay a
choice.
stipend, to me, that's kind of a thing of the past, so.
A lot of corporations still do it. Well, the private sector still do it. I'm not saying it's not a
That's
thing
my
of the past, but
opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should have the same protection getting in anything on your personal phone as you do a phone issued by the county. And mine's not gonna be any different. The only thing that's gonna be different is I have to have another piece of freaking equipment that I gotta carry around.
Well, and if I have to
Lose, break.
approve it on my personal phone to be able to get into it on the county phone, just,
If somebody doesn't wanna use their own phone and they want a county issued one, then I agree. Okay. So. Brian started all of this.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right, yeah. He said we could call him. Let's call him up and we'll.
he's gonna be dying.
No, he hasn't listened to me enough about this.
I know.
Figured to give him
He's
a
probably
little bit of a break.
Okay.
Anything else?
Don't have any answer for you.
Oh,
Oh.
Just to clarify, for the nurse practitioner salary,
We're gonna have
do
to
you want to
increase.
put it in the budget right now? 2
Yeah.
out of 3. You want it
The
in the
increase
budget?
or the,
The increase.
No, the 105,000 plus benefits.
Yeah, we do like a
The two of you
placeholder
want that
and-
in the budget right now, because that's the budget request now from the health department, so.
so if we approve it later on, it would have to come out of contingency, right? Or-
Yeah.
So I just don't think
So
put it in
don't
there
put it in
yet.
there right
No,
now?
I think we're too, it's too premature,
Okay.
but I think we need to look at it. I think we need to talk to UMR, we need to look at, it might be that it's just a moot point. It's not, but I think, I think it could save us some money.
I just want to know what to put in the final budget, approved budget. Do not include it in the final commission-approved budget. Well, I know we got one down.
Yeah.
Don't put it in the final
I
approved
just
budget
would
yet.
put it in there, yeah. If we decide to do it, then we can, you know, pull it out.
Come back and
Contingency.
discuss
Okay,
it.
all right.
and then Greg did put in his budget like siding and then also some painting and repair. So I was a little confused by that because if we do siding, do we not need the painting repairs or we still
We
need some?
talked about that a while
Oh,
ago.
did you? Okay.
He said it
So I
was
had staff
kind of a
meeting this morning.
duplicate, kind of meant the same thing,
Okay.
right? Is that the way you
But
all
I
took
know
it?
that, like, we talked about siding and in that atrium area, you know, removing those windows that go to nowhere, putting siding there.
Yeah.
But then the other windows in the atrium, like, there's one that doesn't even seal. So maybe with the siding, we could also kind of throw those atrium windows in there because we're losing heat in the air because the windows aren't good.
Is that the one there's a cabinet or something in front of?
No, remember we looked at it when we were in, oh yeah, that one side, but the other side that is to the hallway, there's actually some of those windows that you would agree
Gotcha.
was.
Okay,
they
so that
aren't
was the other side.
Right.
Are there areas of the building that would take paint? Because it says replace outdoor siding, so there's existing siding, so
Right.
replace that. But there's also paint exterior. Are there
I
other
think
areas
that
that would need
there's
painting that
those-
don't have
The
siding?
poles, yeah,
Okay.
there are.
I think,
few
I
poles
thought
and such
Greg
like
said it
that.
was 2 different things.
Okay, good. I just wanted to, but I think we do need the siding, so. And like I said, I would argue for windows in that atrium because it's hurting our efficiency.
It's pretty though,
Yeah, it is, but they're just old. you know.
peaceful.
Does that still leak up there in that front corner?
At the front corner of the,
Way on, I guess would be the west side of the building? Has that been fixed?
No, the storage room. I don't think it's been leaking.
Of course, we haven't had rain in about a year.
Right,
So
right,
again, we don't know for sure.
right.
'Cause that's
The
what we
break
were talking
room,
about.
they fixed the roof, but they haven't fixed the walls yet.
Okay, well, that's on the list, I mean,
Right.
that we put in for the capital.
Good,
so.
yeah, we wanna make sure.
And do you want an outdoor sprinkler system too?
The public works staff that have to do the water requested that.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
That's not my forte, is landscaping. And the renovations are looking really good. You guys will have to stop by and see. We're excited. I think cabinets are next, they finish the floor. Okay, any other questions?
Any other line? I didn't change anything else on their budget, request,
Okay.
nothing else. Unless I missed, no, I don't think I made any errors
So I think
on
our big
yours. I made some
discrepancy,
errors
yeah,
on
I think our
others,
big
yeah.
discrepancy was the nurse practitioner.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then the increases for the environmental staff,
But
which you guys
I'm
added
not
that in.
opposed to that, I just didn't put it in, that's all down to
Okay,
put that.
and you guys were okay with those increases for the environmental public health staff?
I'm gonna throw it into the pool and then we'll
Yeah.
have Sheila probably look at them. That's where I was at with it,
Okay,
so. It won't, I don't think it's gonna happen January 1st. I don't know how long it'd take to kind of look at that and how long for us to decide.
Boy, Sheila, we're giving you a lot of power.
Basically did a lot of the legwork before, just not too long ago.
Okay,
Foundation.
okay.
but you're not gonna come back and say, sorry, this isn't budget time, we're not gonna approve that, you have to wait to budget time, right?
No, we had a merit pool last year too, that I thought it actually worked
I
out
did-
pretty
I
good
did,
for
yeah.
special requests.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is still budget time when we
Okay.
go through it, that's the answer to it.
just
We'll get
giving
a
you a hard
final
time.
answer, go through HR and
Okay, well, if you need any of that documentation again, I probably still have it.
If you would, just go ahead and send it to me because I did not get any of my old email stuff back, and so I may not be able to provide that.
Okay.
Okay.
Brent came out to fix my printing issue because I could not print an email. And when he did that, I got all mine back, all 10 years of it. I was like, oh, hallelujah. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like,
if you got the information, Sheila gets it to us, I mean, it could happen
Yeah.
January 1st.
I will send it to you.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
or you can sit in there and hound us like the sheriff does until we make a decision.
said a word.
He is listening.
Yeah, he's feeling the posting.
Okay, what do you want to do next?
Do you need a break?
I'm good for right now, maybe at 10:30.
Do you need a snack, Genius, to go get you some food?
Do I look
Have some
angry?
food?
Where's my Snickers?
That's not healthy.
Who are the chefs?
Okay, you just want to then go back to the front and we'll work through items
I
as
feel
we
like we're
can.
going backwards now, Mark.
Well, what do you guys want to talk about?
Hot tea.
You got anything else?
That's a
Got
good thing,
anything
just work our way to the back of the book, makes
All right,
sense.
Okay.
I like that.
Well, then the
idea.
first one is mine.
Oh, X, where's my red pen?
24, yeah. Okay. The only thing I asked for additional is because I had some salary saving. Now, I just want to point out that, okay, so I lost my full-time chief deputy back in the summer. Did not replace her. Didn't find a qualified candidate until November 1st, so I went 6 months without a full-time deputy. So she was working part-time, so I saved some salary money that way. To help with the transition, I put in there, I asked for 12,000 part-time. I can scale that back. I'm willing to ask for less.
How long would that keep her? Because that's what you say you're.
Been paying her around $28 an hour, so let's say
30 and change.
30,
35.
yeah, 30 divided by, let's say, let's go down to 9,000. 30, what would that give? 300 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
can
then-
live with that.
You mentioned something about some additional audits as well. so are you
Well,
gonna
she
try
could
to-
help with that. That's something I really wanted to.
So why don't we just leave it at 12,000?
Okay, I'm just,
I'm-
I'm just. if
It's
you're-
it's
if
in
you
there.
have
If you don't
heartburn,
use
I don't
it,
have any heartburn with
Okay.
that.
if you don't use it,
I think it'd be a good idea for your staff to show up at different offices during the year and say, we're here to look at, fill in the blank. Where
I was
is
hoping to
it?
have that in place by now, but with losing my,
Right.
going through the first year, getting through a budget process and an audit process, I thought I was at the point where we'd start maybe doing some
But then-
audits, and then I lost my full-time deputy, and we're,
Yeah.
and then,
Keeping-
of course, the 2 months of,
You have the part-time in there, you're able to keep her to do the transition and to try to work on getting some of these surprise audits.
sometimes surprise, I don't know, at least audits, I don't know, maybe surprise, but surprise audits aren't always the best thing either, at least. in my
Maybe it's the wrong
experience,
word
but do
for it,
some
too.
audit,
I
do
mean,
some
it's-
audits, yeah.
Yeah.
That's- I'm the county auditor, so.
And we can
Hope be able to get in some
let all our
audits here
departments,
soon.
elected officials know that we will be doing some audits, you know, at various times. So it's not necessarily a
forget the
surprise, but
Get the finance office in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be at the top of my list, so.
I would just leave it at 12,000.
You okay, okay. I
And
was
if you
willing
don't,
to- I
if
was
you
willing
don't
to
use
scale back
it,
some,
if you
so.
don't use it,
Okay.
That's why I agree.
Because I could
If you don't
really use
it-
her during the, at least early in the year, help train my new full-time with, because we're gonna still be busy getting ready for the audit.
We usually
Close
try
out
to
the
do that
year
anyway,
and
try to have
start-
some overlap, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
next.
All right, thank you.
Better stop while you're ahead, Mark.
Yeah.
Ooh, they call
All right, thank you. Thought that was gonna be a harder sell.
pardon?
Thought that was gonna be a harder sell than it was.
No,
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Sheriff wore us down this morning.
Can I use some of that? Get ready for the ARPA.
Now, maybe I can skip Larry. I think he might want to be here if anybody wants to check with.
I think the only thing he had on there that I had a note about was the merit increases.
Well, that's
Did you
true.
have- Did you have any other notes for him?
I do not. I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't. We could ask him later if he wanted to come in to sell it again, but yeah, I think he tried to sell it at his initial budget meeting. He's just asking for,
4,500.
he's asking for 1,500 additional in merit for each of his 3 full-time employees, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine putting it into that pool. And we
Same
may
thing.
have to go over this
Okay.
in a separate meeting to go over some of these, because I don't think that, I don't know.
1,500 here, 750 here.
Yeah.
You know,
So everybody,
here,
everybody's asking for a little
Big
different.
chunk.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, everything else in collector, nothing else, nothing different, yeah.
It's, try to do what's good for one office is good for the other, and try to have some kind of parity, but everything's not always equal, so you just try to be fair with it. It's, I don't know.
Well, I can check with Larry at noon if he wants to come in and talk about it some more, but, he asked, I think you, Harry, or me both.
I'm sorry.
Didn't Larry ask you when he thought, if we knew what time we were gonna talk about his budget, or?
He said he'd like,
Yeah,
I thought he
something.
said he'd like to be here.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I don't know if he's still 2 people short with
No, I've
illness,
seen one
but,
of them here, so.
okay, all right. Okay. Treasure, there's nothing different there. He didn't ask for any merit, so his recommended budget, his requested budget is the same as my recommended, so. I mean, he is up for election, so the only thing new is his bonding. He's got the large bond, so his bond costs more than most everybody else, $3,000. We'll have to put in the budget for his bond, but.
Okay.
And just because people didn't ask for that merit doesn't mean they won't want to be in line.
Right. He just didn't ask for any merit, so.
Right.
Anything you want to discuss about the treasurer's budget?
Oh,
No?
okay.
Good, okay, all right. Clerk, we already talked about. mean, he's got his election services, that's just,
I think we talked about his a while ago, that's all done.
yeah. The other thing on
Keep
page,
moving.
Larry's on his way up.
oh, okay.
This one ever, yeah.
So on page 33 with the clerk, we put the NID budget, but again, that's just kind of a, there's really no discretion there. You got
Whatever
the
carries
bonds to
forward.
pay, yeah, the bond payment and the interest payment, yeah, so. Next one would be your budget, unless you wanna take a quick break until Larry gets here?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay. Stand and stretch?
Yes. We're gonna do the hokey pokey. Turn your stuff around. Oh. I might as well go to the bathroom again. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, he's here already.
How are you, kind sir?
Fine, and you?
Just lovely.
How was your trip yesterday?
Long? Wasn't as long as probably, it wasn't that bad.
I learned that if you want to travel to Joplin and back in the same day, you go with a law enforcement person who has
Sirens.
I never
Sirens,
exceeded the posted speed limit most of the
lights.
time. Do you hear what I'm saying, Alex? I never exceeded the posted limit.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Because the car is not a toy.
Got that straight out of your training manual, right? This car is not a toy. But it makes really neat sounds.
People still lining up to pay their taxes.
Yeah. At least we got Gretchen back today. We only had 2 people
I knew you were down
yesterday,
too.
so- And a new part-timer starting today, so.
Are y'all gonna stick around here for lunch?
Are you buying?
Yeah, I was going to.
I would like to leave, I kinda need to leave for at least a half hour or so. Okay.
Well, I'll get some pizza or some
Yeah.
subs or something if we're gonna stick around here. I don't have to leave.
I'm flexible.
I'd like to leave for a little bit.
I do have someone I'd like to say hello to during lunch hour.
I mean, you can still eat if I get something.
Okay. I'd like to, I need to physically leave
What
for
time
a
are you
little bit.
leaving, when you want to get back?
Makes me no difference.
I'm trying to coordinate with somebody who's swinging through town.
I have no different, you decide then,
So I'm
whatever.
not sure when. No, actually.
Cause I can leave anytime,
He won't
I
be
just need
here
to.
until about 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I just need to leave for a bit, come back. It doesn't matter when, anytime around noonish,
Yeah, man,
11:30ish,
yeah, we-
12:30ish. I just need to
Take a
get out
lunch
for a little
break.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
How's Sam today?
Oh, no, not bad.
We'll be the judge of that.
Well, considering you were in the hospital longer than you thought,
Can I help you, sir?
I went to the doctor
and
yesterday.
the fact that you're physically here today
Yeah.
is, I think,
I'm
very
doing
good.
very well, yeah. Now by
I
Saturday.
mean, not knowing your whole
By Saturday, I might just
situation,
be.
but yeah, just the fact that you're here after hospital,
Tell me
I think
about it.
that's good. That sounds real good. It looks real good.
Yeah, he was surprised I came back to work. I said, well, I'm only working like Monday, but I'm only like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we can jump back in here. We can get you back to work. This is your busy time. This is your busy time.
all in all, I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's, Yeah, I figured there wasn't any way I wanted to really zoom this. Nothing like this.
It's great.
You need to be here.
It's great you're here, yeah.
Need to be here. Then you can look at Larry and you go,
No. You can tell it to him in his face, no.
I take care of
I should've
Larry.
brought my button up.
Take care of Larry for us.
Oh, did you rough him up?
He gave me, he hit the no already. I said I should have brought my button up.
You got a yes button?
You know we're still being recorded, so be
Yeah.
careful.
Okay.
The recording's not going off, right? She's not.
No, we're still on.
That's all my coffee.
We're still on the air. So how are numbers going, Larry? Are we ahead or about?
We were ahead at the end of November, mainly because CoreLogic paid theirs in November, which they normally don't pay till December 10th, so that was $14 million. So
Woo.
our November is about 25 million, which is typically it's probably in the 10 or 12 million area.
Yeah, I keep seeing whenever I'm leaving here, there's always people, and some of them are really still cheerful after they've paid you.
Some.
You ready to?
Yeah, I was just stand and stretch out a little bit till we got going again.
Yeah.
Do you have a set time that you're trying to do your meetup?
It won't work, so.
I don't care, I just need to leave for about half
I
an
wouldn't mind breaking
hour.
away just for like 20 minutes at 2 o'clock.
Oh,
Oh.
See how things go, it might be done.
yeah.
Yeah, this one get Pringer, I know that's when Toby was planning on coming for Pringer at 2 o'clock. Cause I thought she'd get Judge Beadham
Okay.
done with it, he would be, his
We'll
court
see how they
court would be done, but anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
I'll order some pizza, we'll have it here around 11:30 or noon. We can take a little break, if you need to leave, you can leave.
I do need to
And you
leave.
you're more than welcome to have some of it, so.
Okay, all right.
Oh, are your ears ringing?
Dude, are we still only on television?
We are.
Yes, it's
Okay.
live.
I need to change your iPad. You said
Okay, yeah, the code should be on.
on there? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Just remove that account?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ooh, so my iPad needs that
Now, when you
off of
put
too.
that, when you switch it over to Outlook, the stuff that's on Exchange,
Sorry.
there's, I
That's
mean,
Larry.
I'm fine.
Right now I got
I'm not gonna do anything till I talk to you about that.
yeah,
I hate
it's
to
on
do
my
it this
desk
time of
anyway,
year.
if you wanna
Okay.
look at it, and the codes. Oh,
Name on Maybe it's not.
Now we don't even have a quorum here, so
I-
where'd everybody go?
Well, Larry came up and we just,
Just say yes, and I'll get my, back to my office.
some drinking lukewarm solid
How's
water.
that money coming in downstairs, Larry?
I think it's coming pretty
No, I
good.
think it's-
Haven't been, we've had lines, but nothing horrible, not like we had years ago where they used to fill up the whole hallway.
Wind up the door, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll happen the last week or last day of
It really hasn't been that
It
bad
has.
since COVID.
Oh, really?
More people are mailing their payments in or dropping them in the Dropbox or paying online.
Yeah. Cool.
But we really, normally the second last day of the year is the busiest day.
Oh, okay.
Last day of the year, typically by 1 o'clock, we're dead.
So since
Really?
it's on a holiday or on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah, are you gonna be open on Saturday?
Or you cut it off on Friday?
We cut it off on Friday.
Friday.
So it's,
When it ended on Friday,
Or ended on Saturday.
we stayed open one year when Friday was the holiday. we stayed open that day. Because it was the last day or second last day or something. We've opened on Saturday before in years past and just we hardly get anything at all.
Really?
And we've tried to stay open later, you know, till like 5:30, instead of 4:30, and that pretty much dead also.
How many pay online now? Do you have like a percentage or do you know?
I don't know, it's up to like $5 million in dollars in
I would do
payments.
mine online if I wasn't up here all the time. It's just as easy for me to just drop it off, but it's so convenient and easy. I do Miller County and Camden County, both of them online, and I mean, there is a small fee associated, but it's so minimal, so easy, it's sitting at home and
What is it, about 2%, 2.5%?
2.25.
Okay.
What is it, Larry?
2.25.
It's whatever the
We're
credit card
probably
fee
one of
is,
the
right?
lowest
Yeah.
there is.
Cooper's 3.5, convenience fee, I think.
Okay.
All right. Page
Okay.
26, collector's budget.
why are we going backwards? I'm just teasing. Just trying
Because
to
it's the
make-
collector.
Yeah, we
Make
thought
Larry
we
feel
approved
bad.
yours already. Too late. No, sorry.
I'll just take a couple minutes of your time. Again, my primary concern is the request for raises this year, that you give that very serious consideration. I would even be willing to do an MOU for that. I know you all have tried to avoid that since years ago, but it's really not a large amount of money, so if that would help influence your decision, like I said, I'd easily sign an MOU for that amount. My only other areas of concern are gonna be printing, postage, and bank charges. Those costs have gone up significantly this year. For one thing, our bank contract renewed with Central Bank, and it had a cost of living increase in that. Postage, as you know, we're aware, it keeps rising, and so does printing. Perforated paper we used to buy for $50 a case is now $100 a case. So I think we're probably going to exceed those budgets this year, and I'm going to cover that excess out of my tax maintenance fund. But next year, we may need to adjust when we finally get final numbers on this year. May have an early request to adjust those amounts. And by statute, you're required to pay for the postage and the printing of tax bills and stuff. I mean,
So it cost approximately $27,000 to mail out our statements.
it did this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just the postage cost.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will be down next year. We're gonna change how we do our sorting and pairing. We had an issue last year. We had a lot of complaints because we just went by an address match for personal property and real estate. And we had a lot of parents that got their children's bills, and they were very unhappy about that, even though they live in the same house. It turned out to be a pretty big issue. We got lots of calls on that. So we backed off of this year to exact name pairing, and that drove the cost of postage way up. We're gonna try to find a middle ground there, because part of the problem is when you're doing exact name pairing, people use their abbreviated name on their personal property, not their proper name. And on real estate, on a deed that's recorded, if the guy's name is William, it's gonna say William, but on his personal property, it'll say Bill. And that didn't match in our system this year, so that made the significant difference. in what we
Yeah, I
had
got
this
my
year.
personal and real estate in two different mailings. so.
I did too, yeah.
All right.
So hopefully we're gonna remedy that. We just ended up in a time crunch this year because we renewed our contract with Central Bank late in September, and we didn't have a lot of time to work through all those issues. So those are my only concerns, that we may need to address the banking charges, postage, and printing as soon as we get final numbers in, so.
And I got those are your requested salary adjustments, right?
Yes, sir.
1,500 a piece for your 3 full-time. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And as I said earlier, we haven't done that I haven't made a request for salary increases. I've always just gone with the COLA for as long as I can remember. And I also, I'm realistic about it. I realize that all of county employees probably deserve a raise. Especially since y'all kowtow to the EMS and sheriff.
I don't think he heard that.
He heard it. He heard it. He'll get even with me, I know that.
I would just recommend you don't speed on the way home.
You know this is recorded, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just let you know that.
What'd you say, full cavity search?
Right now, I think the commission is leaning toward putting those requests, putting something in a pool as far as the merit or additional above the 4%. And then with HR's help, maybe, yeah, anyway, that's, or if you want to explain that a little differently, clarify that, yeah, so that's what you're leaning toward, right?
I think we put it in a bucket and then you decide, maybe with Sheila's help, how to reach in the bucket and where to put it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to support putting $4,500 in a bucket for the collector to decide for the most part, but I won't say veto authority, but in conjunction with visiting with HR, if that's the right thing to do. So.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. It's kind of simple with me. I only have 3 employees, and they all
Okay.
3 work extremely hard.
Right.
Because a lot of counties, half our size, have more staff than we have, so I keep them busy, and they keep me out of trouble, so it's worth a great deal.
Mark?
I said the latter.
You got good employees, you really do.
Mark, your number for part-time is $30,010. Is there a reason there's a 10 in there?
Nope.
Okay, should be 30.
I was putting numbers over. as
You were
fast as
banging
I
them
could
away, right?
because I
That's-
have
okay.
I was under time crunch, so yeah,
You want
okay.
to cut them, collect them,
I'll-
send them?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I gotta cut you $10. So.
That's
I don't know where I came up with that. That's-
All right, it's $10.
That's an
$10,
unusual typo,
yeah.
yeah. I
Remember
got
that next time you come down with a recommendation.
it. Yeah.
There's $10 you didn't know you had.
I can get by without the 2. So thank you all very much, I appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you, Larry.
thanks, Larry. Okay. All right.
The commission,
And I want to thank the sheriff for the wonderful service he provides to the community.
Thank you, sir.
Don't it speak louder than words, Larry?
That's true, I'm not-
All of us forgot him this morning. What the heck?
I'll just speak on the commission budget. I would like you guys to consider putting the current budget plus the 4% back in the budget for next year. It's up to you.
The current, okay. Well, you got, or, okay.
The current budget at the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay. The 616,000,
Yes,
add
plus-
4% to that, okay.
What-
Well, unlike
what
most
page
other
are we on?
departments, there's no merit or requested adjustments on any of your people.
What- Give me a page number.
Sorry, 35. Okay, well, here's what if you want to just kind of quickly look, why I know why your total to start with is so low, because there's one left, yeah, because you had change, so, but anyway, there was, if you just want to look at what happened, there was 4,000 given out in a mid-year adjustment total. So your current salaries are now at 609,853. The budget for the year was 616,795. So current salaries are less than budget because of some turnover. But anyway.
And then, of course, if you guys come back later and you're gonna decide on the department heads, you need to think about that, because you guys will have control of what you do with your department heads. You know, so, and again, you can address that later in the year too, if you want.
So if we followed our own lead that we've been going through today, well, let me see. You would compute a salary pool, is that true? For,
Yes, you can
For
use
the-
that for, yeah.
Department.
Depending on how you come up with that pool balance.
well, you're looking for 635, 448,
Total.
yeah?
Well, no, I was looking at what the current budget is, plus 4.
Well,
I mean,
that's,
the current budget at the beginning of this year.
I'm, the current budget, not the current salary, but the current budget.
Yes.
So you were looking at 616, 795 times 104%.
4%, yes, 4% on top of the budget.
641, 654, that's what I come.
What'd you get?
641, 654. So that
650?
would be about $6,000 higher than what the
Okay.
recommended budget is.
That's
650.
what was left in this year's budget too.
I think I'm good with that.
I mean, that's fine. You know, there's departments like me, well, treasurer only has one employee, but, you know, there's some other small departments that didn't ask for any adjustments, so I would hope that if you're doing that for all other departments, that you would also look at my office, treasurer's office, whatever, also, so.
Okay, that's all in that budget, unless you guys can think of any other training or anything else you wanted to go to the next year, other than what you normally go to.
I think we're good.
We did have to do some pretty good transfers in office supplies. We'll see how that works out again. Keep in mind, purchasing comes out of there, HR comes out of there, you guys come out of, so we all come out of there.
Out of your 122 budget? Okay.
Yeah. And like Larry said, yeah, paper's doubled in price. And we went through a paper frenzy for a while. It's probably why our fourth quarter we couldn't make. Okay?
Page 35 now? Move on.
Very good.
Want to tackle ARPA now, or that's the next page, or we can
Can we
Okay.
do it?
we can go back to it if you want to.
ARPA is a lot of whatever's left over from the original approval that you guys have already done. So, and how we end up the year. Bills that we're paying a big one. Well, we just got the check ready for it.
I mean, you're not changing any. Okay, can I pull up an ARPA? Do you just want to go over ARPA? now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's,
Get it out of the way.
let's get through it, so might as well.
Okay,
Give me a
so
page.
It's
36.
36. That's a little harder to follow. I think it's easier to
Yeah.
kind of go off your Debbie's schedule because. I mean, the only project, there's only one project so far that's dropped off, right?
That was the St.
St.
Thomas.
Thomas, yeah. So, my question, that was a small amount, but have you reallocated that back to, oh, you did allocate, that's gone to another
We're up to the
project?
15 million total.
Okay.
I mean, whether you guys will eventually.
What do we need to do with this today? I mean, it kind of is what it is,
Well,
right?
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we've got a total allocated, right, of 14,909,284? Is that the right amount?
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't quite the 15 though.
Okay, all right.
I did make a notation, we've got like 400,000 in interest on
Yes.
ARPA money, but where are we putting?
It would actually be,
It's going in here, but we have not allocated.
Okay, okay.
yeah, that number
That's free
is
money.
Actually,
Isn't it?
Well, it's-
I mean,
It's higher than that. It's by the
That's
end
not,
of the year. we-
not ARPA money.
That's correct.
Yes.
Back when we had COVID or CARES money, any interest earned on CARES had to be treated like CARES. However, interest earned on ARPA does not have
You
to
can
be
throw it in
treated
the
like
general
ARPA.
fund if you
So
want
what's
to.
it gonna be now, Mark?
Over the 3 years, at the end of this year, almost 3 years, well, I can't remember when the first payment came in, but since interest rates have been really high this year, we've got a $5 million treasury gonna mature in a few days on that. We will accumulate about $650,000 in interest
Okay.
by the end of this year, over the 2.5, 3 years, whatever, that the money's
Okay.
been in the bank.
That's by the
So,
end of this year.
By the end of this year, yes, $650,000.
So we're rolling some of that into another T-bill,
We'll
T-note.
continue to put that in treasuries until you spend it, yeah.
Okay.
So that's low.
Yeah.
So, and again, I've talked to Forbes, we continue to talk to them all the time, but we are going to seriously look at this after the first quarter of next year, and to make sure our projects are in line to having this money encumbered by the end of '24. So, and if there is some entities or awards that can't get that done, you guys might consider a backup plan for some of this money being spent somewhere else, if that's your choosing.
So-
If you know
Do we
what
need
I'm
to
saying.
contact these? Are we
No, we
in
are.
communication with them
We are
and so they
constant.
know? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So is this this is the Forbes line, is that is that up to
Yeah, I
date?
think
We've
that's up to
spent
date.
238,000 on that contract out of, 611, which we never expected to fully get to 611 to begin
Right.
with, so,
We do have to go to the end of '26,
yeah.
so potentially.
But the monthly, do we get monthly billings?
Yes.
They've trickled down somewhat,
Yes,
haven't they?
it's about that.
This line.
So
yeah,
the
that's
backup
good.
plan, I mean, we've got 6 and some odd million for the juvenile center. So the backup plan, anything that doesn't get used somewhere that comes back or whatever could go into that because everything's showing that that's gonna be more.
Right.
So it's
Yep, I just want you to be aware, there's some.
Yeah.
24
I'm
and
not sure.
26 are the magic dates, right? 24 and
yes,
26.
yeah.
Encumbered
26 is gonna
24,
be
spent 26.
spent.
Yes.
Now, we should close tomorrow on the real estate.
And I gave Jill the check.
Yes.
So we're gonna burn off 400,000 and
Pay that out of
change.
this fund, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, right now, juvenile, the amount allocated is a little less than 5 million, right?
Because we put aside the HVAC.
Yeah, we took the.
That, we took
HVAC
something else out of there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
just so we can spend it sooner.
yeah, so that way we know it's taken care of.
So on paper, it's about 5 million right now, left for juvenile.
Do we have anything else like the HVAC coming up that we'd be able to do that in case we run into some timelines or?
Something to do.
Well,
Well,
the
I mean,
biggest was that $1 million for the jail, but then you still gotta figure in holding cells and.
well, yeah, but we're not ready to
You're
encumber
not
that yet.
Well,
We,
it's not- no, so
Doing
no,
that, are
it's
you?
not.
Yeah, I was just looking
No.
at a more immediate project
well,
that's
I mean,
right on the horizon.
are we doing something to the HVAC or the air over at, across the street?
Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
so that
40.
won't cost that much. But you
Yeah,
could do
but
it. I mean,
we
if you
could do
want to
it.
spend
We could
sure.
chew away with this so that we have less at risk of not meeting the 24 encumbrance, right?
There's still some parameters that would have to fall under, how many people are we serving there, how, there's a.
Well, yeah, but did we do that for the 550 on this building? Did we?
We're doing it, we have to have a statement of
All right.
compliance. let's say,
Okay.
because-
That might be a lot harder to justify than Adams, because it's just a couple people over there. Yeah.
I mean, I could ask them to look at it.
I've been trading voicemails and phone calls with Centertown.
Yeah, that is another one that's a concern. It's not a big amount, but they're in that 5 million one.
Is
It's the
that?
very
It's-
Oh,
it's-
very end.
You're right, you're
Oh,
right.
around there, yeah.
So they're only 50.
Village of Centertown wastewater, is that the one? Yeah.
We don't
50.
have as much, if you want to say it, flexibility in the 5 million that you did in the 10 million. So that 5 million has to really be special, followed by the ARPA rules, if you want to say it that way.
Okay.
So, and my other one concern was Public Works and the 1 million on theirs. We have 2 architects encumbered, and we're paying on those out of here, but we gotta get those projects going and encumbered by the end of next year. And Eric doesn't seem to think that will be a problem. So,
All right.
and then of course.
I think we're doing a resource study on one of them to look for, we've been asked to do that by the Osage Nation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's just an update on it, and I mean, I can get you the ones that we've closed, the ones that are close to being closed, but just so you guys are aware that these people have to have this encumbered by the end of '24. Federal government has not changed their position on that at this point.
But they're already starting to kind of chirp about pullbacks.
That is pulling back if the entities that they gave the money to have not encumbered that.
Right.
And the way Forbes talks, there's a lot of entities out there that haven't even started this process.
Well, Boone County or Columbia, I guess, they just now awarded
So they're gonna have to move
ARPA
very
funds,
fast.
and I'm like, that's.
All right. But yeah, all I gotta do is update all those numbers at the end of the year. I mean, they're all, the budget is just, I put in the best numbers I had when I completed this, but as, we get all the rest of the bills paid by the end of the year, I'll adjust those to what's left in each one of those, projects. So.
If you ever want to talk about that interest, we can talk about that too.
Something that, okay, right now, let me ask this, right now, the Ringer Center amount is in just the ARPA Recovery Fund budget, the general budget. Are you at a point where you want to designate that, you want to put that in as a project in the budget for next year? It's just kind of a technicality. It's going to be budgeted either way, but,
Well, we're buying the land, so
Okay.
we're getting closer to having a
so
physical.
you're really officially
To
designated
having a
it.
physical
Okay.
project, so,
Yeah, I did take it out of
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll move that out of the general budget down to a project.
Yeah, I
budget.
just transferred over just the amount of that check though.
Right.
I didn't transfer in the rest of it, but I can.
Yeah, we're moving ahead, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, and we spent that whole 100,000 that.
Yes.
Oh,
We got that extra.
Tribal.
Something
Tribal,
tribal
yeah,
related, yeah,
yeah.
but that's in now, that's done, we're done
We'll
with
just
that.
have to do the reporting come March of next year.
Yeah.
All right.
So are you going to break?
No.
No.
Okay.
We can skip to 126 for this GIS because we already did the other one.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's something from Melissa. I don't know if she shared this with you. Here's the renewal quote.
Yeah, I think we got that, I think we got the right numbers in
Did you?
there,
Okay.
pretty sure, but I can check.
Here's the total.
Yeah, I think I got that, but thank you.
What's GIS on?
Page
42.
42. Let's pull that up, make sure I got the right numbers in there. Again, there's only one salary, but for her, she didn't ask for any additional, so she's just at the 4% COLA
Yeah.
requested,
And again,
so.
She's a department head, so she's at your all's mercy, so as we,
So it's basically the website increase is gonna be our,
I think that's an equipment service contract. Yeah.
Oh, no, I do need to increase
Yeah.
that, don't I? Yeah, okay, we'll increase that. I thought we had the updated number,
I'm
but
gonna
we
give you
don't.
all of it, so.
Okay.
So,
All right, okay.
So that
So
will-
our budget will go up about $1,200 because the increase in the Esri maintenance agreement. Is that her main?
It's the
That's the
mapping, yeah.
GIS system maintenance agreement. Went up 1,200, so we'll have to.
She mentioned that. It
Yeah.
was gonna go up, so.
So equipment service contract there, it's 12,189. It'll have to go up to about 13,400, something like that.
Next. You got any
Good.
questions on?
Questions on that? Jazz? No? Okay.
Nope.
127 is next, but
Do we want to go over that? That's a big one. Skip it, or,
this is what we used to tie the whole general fund to.
yeah,
So-
yeah,
so
You're talking general
skip that
accounts.
one. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can go through it, well,
It's,
go through it?
yeah, it's just quarter to 11,
Okay,
so
all right,
let's get as much as we can this morning.
all right.
And
So that's where all your big tax revenues are budgeted. Property tax, the 60% rollback, or that EMS sales tax, the 60% of that comes to general fund. Local use tax is in there. I think I figured, at least on sales taxes, I was going with about a 2% increase on the sales taxes. I might have done local use a little higher. No, I went ahead and did 2% of local use, although I think that's been going up
Little better,
more than
yeah.
the sales tax, just because of all the online,
Right.
the increase in online sales. So we might see a higher increase in the local use tax than what I budgeted. Then, of course, we got the marijuana sales tax, put in as 200,000. The first payment we got was 20,000. We did get our first payment on that, early this month, just about a week ago. So the way it's, I guess it comes in similar to sales tax. It's about a 2-month lag, so
Right.
that should be what they collected in October.
Which was the initial month.
Yeah.
That might have been a gangbuster month, we don't know.
Possible, yeah. But I think we're going to go with the conservative. We don't really want to spend that money because there's
No.
pending litigation,
Right.
you know. But that money is starting to come in.
Okay.
The prepaid wireless fee down there and the license permits and fees, that's, that money's just been accumulating. I think we're at, okay. I did a recalculation on that. Go to page 45. Under contractual services, the 911 system, that's the prepaid wireless fee revenue. We haven't spent any of it in the 3 or 4 years that we've been accumulating. I re-looked at the numbers. I was off again. I'm gonna have to reduce that down to about 110,000.
Okay.
Because I went back and recalculated all the revenues that came in.
So instead of
Looked at 'em again.
125, it's
Yeah,
110.
about
Okay.
110, yeah, so,
When we had the chiefs in here the other day,
yes. They're looking to spend that on that,
911.
Dedicated 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staffing study.
At least the study, about 50, you're thinking right now, maybe 50,000.
Right. We reached out to them, they haven't come back to us yet on a contract, or are they not?
Yeah,
All right.
all right. I mean, we'll budget the whole amount, whatever's available, but, you know, it's,
Whatever carried forward.
yeah, it's a carry forward, so, okay.
There's a big one there that should have caught before, on the expense line, the insurance.
Oh, okay. Where is that?
Mid-page, third one down in the materials and supplies.
Oh, my gosh, how
Are
did?
you on page 45?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna have to
Oh,
pay it
how did
next
that
year.
get missed?
I should've-
Didn't get in budget request or,
I
yeah.
got in my request. Oh, no,
No,
projection.
Missed
Oh,
it, both,
yeah.
both sides, okay.
go
Is that is that
That's what's.
the liability insurance, but that's not all of it, right? You allocate it out to the departments,
Allocated out,
okay.
this amount needs to go in there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, okay.
Is-
How
is-
much?
Probably 235, I'd say, at this point.
Is this, looking back at the schedule that we just picked up last week?
That we just did yesterday, or Tuesday's
Yeah,
meeting.
okay. 235?
I would have to go, I haven't split it out yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we talked about earlier, but it
Yeah.
looks like the sheriff was excluded, but that amount will probably have to go.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that, Sheriff? Your liability insurance might have to go up based on
Good.
new numbers, yeah, so, okay.
So, but
Will you have
that's why
those,
gotta get-
will you have that breakdown?
Yeah, I'll stay. and get it
Next
done
week,
tonight.
or, oh,
I'll
all
try.
right, okay, all right.
I just gotta allocate it through all the vehicles and through all the property and stuff, by the value.
And then back to page 44, I think I told you up front, at the budget hearings, I missed a revenue, the admin fees coming in. Just
Yes, I,
missed that number. That's about 680,000.
okay.
It's budgeted coming out of all the funds, I just
Didn't
forgot to
bring
put
it over
in
here.
The
Okay.
incoming, yeah, so.
Oh, the transfer in.
Yeah,
We'll
transfer
need
in.
it to offset the
Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah. Now, the next transfer in, that's one that's, I think, gonna be negotiable, maybe tomorrow morning when you talk to Chief Hoy. That's the $60,000 rent for EMS rent. It's in the budget, I kept it in the budget. I know there was discussion how you might wanna take it out, so. If you wanna wait till tomorrow to discuss that, when
When he's here?
Probably.
Chief Hoy's supposed to come in first
Yeah.
thing,
I
8
think,
o'clock.
I think probably.
Start with that, yeah, okay, all right.
The workers' comp is just the best guess because we will get a visit by the workers' comp auditors
Well,
during the
there's
year.
a expense side and a revenue side to that, so the,
Yeah, we pay it all out of here, and then we bill back the departments that come back into the revenue. But also, after the audit, then, I only bill the departments based after the audit, but this is what they expect us to pay. But there is a revenue side too. We do get a refund. I don't know if we will this year because rates have went up so much that I didn't anticipate that as far as the estimate of payroll. So we may not get much back this year.
But that cost side of it is, we have different rates for different areas, right?
Based on the total salaries, yes.
And the mod that they're in?
Yes.
I mean,
Currently,
EMS and
average-
sheriff are expensive,
Yes.
very expensive.
They're very expensive, but their rate is always considered. I
He
shared
looked-
the mod across. the
He
whole
woke up
county.
and heard that.
Yeah.
We're worth it.
We share the mod right now. It didn't seem, because our mod is reasonable at 83, I think it is, yeah. That didn't seem necessary to pinpoint that to just those departments. So we'll see after the audit.
so on the top of page 45, that 346, that's what you expect the full workers' comp payment, right, for the whole county? And then on the revenue side, that's what you bill to the other departments?
And when I say that, I mean
And
just to
or
the funds.
refund, okay, you're right, to the
Yeah,
funds,
both of
yeah.
those, the refund and billing for the
Okay,
departments.
okay. Plus any refund, yeah, so, right now, you think your net cost will be 100,000, well, oh, no, just to this fund, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I don't
It's
charge
actually
out
more
this-
than that, yeah,
The
okay.
people in this department, in this fund, in GR fund.
Okay.
It'd be senseless, really. But they usually are cheaper rated ones, so.
The Olson account is off the books, thank you,
Yes,
Sam.
yes,
So this is very minor, but the miscellaneous revenue
Revenue,
side,
A lot of it is.
Just some refunds come in
Yeah.
sometimes. if it's a refund of an overpayment of expense, a lot of times I'll create a journal entry to get it off of both sides, but
Yeah.
some miscellaneous stuff just comes in, that just stays in, just has to stay in there.
All
We
right.
don't really budget for it. We don't
Okay.
budget either way for it, so.
Yeah.
We budget a little bit on the expense side. Let's see.
But the, you want me to pull, you want to see specifically area, I can pull up the budget.
No,
Good.
that's so minor. I'm just,
And the
Then-
expense side, I don't know why, we've always kept that hazardous waste agreement in there, in miscellaneous, because it was a contract at one time with the city, but now we just end up paying it. So, I mean, I guess we could put it back, but the only line item we had was a grant line item. So that's why we didn't want to use it, because it was a 59 or 58, so we just kind of stuck it in there.
We've got the opioid money in here. Have you been keeping, I think I sent you an email, you got a spreadsheet on that, okay, yeah.
I mean, we just paid a couple more bills, so it's not quite up to date yet.
Yeah. So we got a total in, if my numbers are right, in 2022, we got 75, yeah, okay, the numbers are right there, 75,000, and this year we got
31.
We must have got another payment in, we got a total of 31,000 in this year. So I'm showing we got 106,000 total in. And then we haven't spent it all, but we've encumbered about, what, 46,000 to EMS and another, I can't remember how much.
20,400.
20,000 for Pringer.
Excuse me.
So-
Bless you.
Thank you.
But this money will continue to come in over how many years? Gosh.
I think
Long
there's
after we're gone.
different levels of it. Some last few years, some last few years more than that, I think.
30, 15, 30
So
years?
15 and 30, or
Gosh.
30 and 15.
So about, at this point, there's about 40,000 that has not been allocated to somewhere of the total that you've received so far.
I'd rather have more money coming in than going out. so.
Say we have to spend it certain ways.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I'll just point it out, on the expense side, capital outlay, we've had that $5 million placeholder for the last 3 years or so. Haven't spent any of it, so it's in there now.
Okay.
That could be your Pringer Center money.
Well, and that's what I'm looking at. I think.
Just-
it's-
You've done no capital out of general
We-
fund for the last
COVID just kind
three,
of,
yeah,
it
since
brought
COVID.
everything to a screeching halt. And we really haven't, we've been nickel and diming a little bit here and there, but yeah, this,
And in addition to that, I expect to carry forward, well, we expect to carry forward a total of about 20 million in the general fund, so. To me, that's money you can consider using for your capital needs.
Right.
So that would be available for that, so.
just need to be very cautious.
Well, no, I'm not saying we should spend it all in 1 year, I'm just saying that's what's,
But to spend it on one-time expenses is really what you should do with it. Which capital would be done.
all right. I guess it didn't take that long. That might be a
The
little
health
more.
insurance is the next one. if you want to- I mean, there's really nothing.
Any other,
there.
anything on?
I'm good.
No.
1.7 counts, okay.
Health insurance,
Do you want the 5 million? Just want that still as a
I do.
capital?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think
I think you're gonna blow through that with the, yeah, the
Well, I
juvenile.
say
That's-
that
that's
could
all
be your
gonna-
Pringer, that could be your Pringer.
that's all gonna go.
That could be
It's-
almost all of it
it's
there.
gonna go-
That's
yeah,
what-
it's gonna go away.
Okay, all right, okay. Keep it in there.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, health insurance, page 46.
we did increase the premiums this year. So you'll see that that's why there's a slight increase in health insurance. And then also medical is anybody that goes over to 85, so we increase that. So,
But look at what we got, boy, we got over $1 million this year. We got $1.1 million in on that. That's the
over the limit.
over the limit coverage, yeah, so,
We have several, so.
yeah.
And which is.
Because I knew we were gonna be at, we knew we had a high year coming in claims, but most of that was offset by this 1.1 million.
I'm gonna be
extra
healthy
coming
in 2024. It's Jeff's turn.
So we got a
Don't
very
say
good
that.
renewal from Sun Life on that
I'm
stop
okay
loss
not.
because we paid them as much as they paid out, so it was well worth it. I mean, I can't imagine, we should never have this without stop loss. But where we set that stop loss is up to you guys.
I mean, I agree, it was probably time for an increase, because there hadn't been any increase in our rates for, what, through 6 years, okay. But my point is, we ended up this year better than I thought with all that stop loss money coming in, right, the 1.1 million,
So
so.
we did go from a 3.2 carryover to probably a 2.7.
It's going down, yeah, it's gonna go down. But our claim expense is, if you look at the insurance, material and supplies, so 2022 is almost 4 million. Well, we're looking at, well, it's not gonna be that much higher, I don't
I'm
think.
not sure. Well, I think.
We might,
up to date.
these numbers might be a little old, because let me see where we're
I
at.
just did that.
Yeah, let's see where we're at with one more month to go. I forget where we're at. We're at,
4.8.
yeah, we're just right at 4 million with one more month to go, so be another 300,000.
Yeah.
250, 300,000, so, okay. So, yeah, we're gonna be a little higher, but not as, the bottom line is, I think we're still doing very well on that front, so.
Summer seems to be a higher amount just because a lot of people have met their deductibles.
Yeah.
All right.
Questions? IS is next.
Yeah, does Brian wanna be here?
I think so.
Yeah, I think, so, yeah.
Try to call him, see if he wants to. Time for a
Yeah, let's.
stretch a little
let's
bit again?
stretch. Okay, Alex, stand up. We're gonna do the hokey pokey and turn ourselves around.
Don't get yourself hurt now.
That
We
felt
just
pretty
got
good.
you.
That felt pretty good.
I think Lily or Melody's gonna go pick up some pizza at noon, so if you're
Okay.
shortly after that, and then, welcome, Alex, you're welcome to have some too. Just write something nice about us.
Yeah, more than pizza.
Better add some donuts to that order, I guess. Extra shot, caffeination.
I had my 3 cups of coffee, that's all.
Lemon.
Yep.
Are we on schedule for all the?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I think we're getting through it pretty quick, actually.
Mm-hmm. Which is good.
I mean,
Yeah, the
tomorrow,
weather, 56 degrees and sunny today and tomorrow. We're stuck in here with no windows, no.
It was sure pretty yesterday too.
oh, sorry, I think we overlooked something on 127 I forgot to bring up. JC rep.
Oh. Yeah,
We improved that already.
Yeah. So-
150.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I had changed on
Yeah,
mine.
so everybody's
too.
good with the
That's
150?
what I had changed.
we're gonna have to increase the budget by 30,000.
Yeah, I had made that change on mine already. I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah, that would be in, what line item is that? I forget.
Now they're gonna have to go out and find us 4, 5, 6 million next year, you know, to keep track with what they did.
Economic, that's okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the economic development line, so we'll have to increase that in total from 125,000 to 155,000. I guess there's some,
Oh, we do the 5,000 for Salute to America.
oh yeah, that's in there too.
Yeah, I had to think, yeah. You still on that? Okay.
Yeah, there's at least 4 departments, we just gotta wait until tomorrow. Couldn't come to that, well, EMS,
And that's got.
emergency man, and Public Works and
Those are
assessment.
the 2 they're gonna take.
Yeah, so I think we can probably be done by noon tomorrow.
Excuse me, what's gonna, tell me tomorrow's.
Tomorrow, we'll start with EMS, then Nick, then emergency
And
management.
Nick, emergency management won't take that.
Yeah, and then Public Works around 9:30, or whenever that bid opening, right after, Eric has to come over for the bid opening, so whenever that is, he'll.
I don't know why they just can't do that in my office.
And then the assessor will come
Oh, we can
whenever.
take, that's a good time to take a break.
And then-
Seriously, we start at 8.
It's those 4 tomorrow? Is that-
Yeah, those are the 4 for sure, and whatever else we don't get through, but we might be able to get through.
What's left for today?
Well, in the afternoon, we got prosecutor and Pringer coming in after lunch.
Is that it?
Okay, I got
Yeah.
lots, I don't want a slide presentation. In my PowerPoint, I don't. 25% decrease next year in IT?
On the capital expense side?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not gonna buy any new computers. I did send you guys a document that showed like an addendum to our existing managed services contract for like some added features and stuff. And I don't know that Mark and I got that in the budget, because it came in after the fact.
Yeah, I'll pull up your long schedule.
We're on page 40.
You're on page 48.
48. Got it.
That would be your equipment service contract line. That's your big thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot in that, so. Huber Managed, is that the one we got increased up
Yes.
to 273,840?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it.
Oh, sorry.
Huber Managed Network Services countywide.
Yeah. that's
Is that the
right.
one we're low on right
Yes.
now? That needs to go up. I wrote down 273,840.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So basically what that is we went through and we added some additional features on our overall security package. And that came up and we had the multi-factor authentication, licensing and things like that. So that's where that extra amount comes in. So it's actually on top of what we're currently spending, and that's for fiscal year 2024. And then we're also at the end of that 3-year contract after 2024. So that'll all be we'll have to go through and review it and work with the vendor on getting a renewal done, so. But yeah.
Does that have to go out to bids?
No, that's all like on state contract, so we're able to purchase it through that. So that's a change that came in after the budget was submitted,
Yeah.
so. And then the only other significant increase will be, we're adding the 2 new locations on Adams Street, and then also we're upping our internet bandwidth. And so you guys will actually get an email on that to get it added to the agenda for Tuesday. We'd already discussed it and approved it, but we'll get the paperwork signed on Tuesday.
Is that in the internet line?
Yes.
And we've already increased the
We
budget
did.
accordingly
Yes.
should cover?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep. And then the only other thing I did was I did put a $500 annual increase on top of the COLA for Brent Fisher.
So, yeah, that's the only difference in salaries.
Yep.
Let's see.
I would like to visit with Sheila on salaries for IT. So I'm just gonna pause on a hard number right now. Let me go back to my, the schedule, okay, you've got the schedule here.
I mean, that's it. That's what's in, this is what's in the budget, the 4 people, plus 4% COLA. I just didn't put in the extra $500 just because I didn't put in anything other than 4%. So, that's how I came up with the 252. Well, 360. Oh, I might not have had all the cell phone stipends in initially, but anyway, yeah.
Now, I did go down significantly on, I was getting this messed up, sales tax or capital.
Oh, yeah.
Because we went from what we budgeted $350 last year, and we dropped it down to $250 this year.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of expenses we had planned last year, and this year we're going to be upgrading some hardware, but it's not near the amount of hardware that we were going to do.
That's back on
What page is that on?
118. Yeah, that's that capital.
Does that table include the BSA?
That's on the service contract line. Is it the BSNA?
So you do have that in the BSA cloud?
Oh, sorry.
Change.
No, we don't, no, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you were asking about the maintenance amount. No,
we
I
were
did not.
talking about that.
No, I did not put that out there.
Okay, so we don't have that in there either,
No.
so. Ouch.
That's considerable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That gentleman emailed me a quote. Yeah.
Like triple.
It's up there. I don't remember the dollar
It's
figure.
like 40
honestly.
some thousand right now. That's what we're paying.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh.
Was
So-
it 78 more?
Brian?
That sounds right.
So you want to do the closed session with security? Or is this okay?
We could, I mean, this is more of a finance thing than it is.
Finance.
Yeah,
Money.
yeah. So like, for instance, right now we have an on-premise finance server. And so we have expenses associated with it, right? Hardware expenses, ongoing software support expenses, maintenance expenses on as far as like taking care of the hardware and stuff like that. If you go to a cloud model, from what I understand, is you get at least everything you have plus added features, and it's all online, it's all hosted. So that's basically an all-in number as far as what they're proposing.
So it's like 3 times what we're paying
It is.
now.
So it's
but-
153,060 for the setup, implementation and everything, and then is it annually after that's 90,360?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me, but.
I got it here, so
Yeah.
if you're wanting numbers, otherwise,
Oh, the 150 is a one-time cost.
that's the first year implementation
Right.
setup, right?
Yes,
That would include the 90,000 annual, which would be after
Okay.
that.
Okay. Right now, we're paying about 40,000 annual.
right.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm sure you're sitting down when
the
you open
initial
that
cost would be
email.
more than triple, yeah. that'd be
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's just, mission critical systems and things like that. I think it's kind of a good practice to have those in an environment like that for lots of good reasons.
Not 100% guaranteed, but
No, 100%.
That changed the whole, seems like I remember at our county auditors meeting that Steve Vernell was at our training, and he showed their cloud system looked a lot different than what, so it'd be some learning.
countywide.
We'd have to have some countywide training time on that.
Yeah, he said, of course, they would be happy to do a presentation over it and everything, so.
I think that's something we need to kind of discuss.
Under computer security, right?
Well, I was gonna say, I've got some questions that I'd ask in closed session security on it. So,
If you have a closed meeting on that, could you include me in on it?
Oh, sure, yeah.
if you bring the
Yes.
donuts,
Okay.
you
I
gotta
knew you
bring
were
donuts.
considering it, but if you're gonna seriously consider it, I need.
Well, we need to check with Jill and make sure it qualifies.
It qualifies. I don't need somebody to tell me it qualifies.
Security.
But we're not gonna budget for it right now.
No, I was just asking if that was included in it, because.
No,
It is not.
Yeah, I'd gotten emails like, ooch.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So, but like I said, I got some other questions if we're gonna consider it, and that would,
I do too. Yeah. Security question.
Mm.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, but then to finish the capital
Oh.
request, yeah, down 350 to 3-some to 250,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're good with that.
Yeah, until I need more. But no, I should be good. I've got pretty much what is going to take up the capital is we're replacing the routers at each location. I did talk to the MS chief and let him know that we're going to have some additional expenses for the new location, and also and then we'll have to add some equipment over at the maintenance annex on Adams. Yeah, because we're going to have that connection added over there. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I think historically I don't, get in close to my max, so.
So right now, when I look at page 118, under Information Systems, Equipment Replacement / Upgrades, it says 250.
Yeah, that's their.
And that's the
request,
number to-
yeah, which
that's-
is down from last year.
Oh, okay.
Down about 80,000. 330 was the request last year. So,
Right.
Not sure you're even very close to that, are you? Or are you higher? Oh, are you? Okay. Okay. All right. Any other questions for Brian?
no, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
Told him I was gonna confuse him by just being extremely nice.
See, I
Look
call-
at that confused look.
I call him Saint Brian.
Please. Similar to the paper boat. It's not a big deal. He'll watch it after this.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I'm done.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Keep going. Building maintenance, we covered. We just, planning, we gotta wait. That's Eric. Public administrator, 55. Not much different. He, again, Ralph is one that asked for some merit.
3 times
He's asking for
750.
$750 for each of his 3.
Right.
He's asking for half of what Larry's asking. You-
Which
yeah.
is,
Put it in the
that's
pool.
why this is a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
put
really,
it-
it is.
Put it in the pool.
Put it in the pool,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
And the other thing on his, it's already been approved, but his new, what's that new system
Cloud.
he's using?
Oh, EMS, which is
Yeah.
very confusing.
Yeah, which you already approved, and that puts his equipment service contract budget a lot higher, so.
Yes.
But you already approved it, so. good.
Should have helped the girls or ladies that work there. We should have.
Yeah.
So when Ralph says EMS, it's different than when we say EMS, right?
Same with CART.
Yeah,
You got Capital Area Rail Terminal, and then you got the county aided road trust fund, so.
Cards County,
CART,
for
CART,
the
CART.
40-some years I've been in working with state and local government, that's what CART is, County Aid Road Trust Fund, so.
And then they changed it on
They,
us.
they didn't copyright it, though.
Well, probably
Yeah.
not.
So,
Yeah.
Anything else on, I think his pauper funeral budget, he hit, I think he had to ask for more, but that's.
you
just
never
kind of-
know what
you
it's
never
gonna
know.
be.
Yeah.
It's, we can do nothing and then we'll get like 3. It's,
We had to increase it, I think the request is gonna stay at the higher level, 15,000, about where we're at, actual this year, so.
I think we were originally paying like $500 and then we got to 1,000.
yes.
So and that doesn't cover it, but at least they get a nice aerial.
Anything else on his?
On Ralph?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Nope. I'm good.
Health Department, we already did. I mean, judicial, we can go over it.
So much of that we did all.
Yeah, do we need, I mean, as we talked about, we can't legally change anything. I mean, not a lot changed this year. They didn't ask for a lot more, but the biggest thing there would be the salaries, the
What page you on?
pretrial. Well,
Page-
like I said, actually.
62
Yeah,
on
60.
back. If you're going to pretrial and court
Yeah.
services, court security, that's where the major
Yeah.
changes were. But like
I
I
mean,
said,
in
if we had an
reality,
issue with it, we would have had to say something back in August when they presented.
Yeah.
Right. Pre-trial, really, the total salaries is the same in total. We're going for next year, just because the 2 retirements, which dropped the
Took the
salaries.
higher priced guys
Yeah,
out.
they were
Right.
making more than what,
Then we're
but the
good.
existing people actually, well, here, I can show you. Let's just pull it up one more time here, and go over it. For pre-trial, on top of the 4% COLA, the requested adjustments are another about $7,500. Majority of that to they hired 2 new people this year to replace the 2 retirees. So mainly they didn't ask for much more for them other than the COLA. The big increases are for the 2 experienced ones, Duckett and Duncan, so.
Is part of that tied to the lockers change on the law enforcement side?
Not in their salary, but in their benefits.
In their benefits, yeah, that was, thought they should get it, yeah. So. And then, but again, their budget, 215,000, is the same as this year in total. And then 155. Yeah, they're top of the COLA. The adjustments are another 13.5 on top of that. Their justification to get more parity to the similar deputy law enforcement positions. Understanding that Judge Beadham explained it, he knows they're not gonna get those positions up to exactly what the lieutenants and sergeants or whatever are making, but he's asked to get them closer, so. Anyway. Not a whole lot to discuss there, I guess. All right.
Nope.
And child support's gonna be later this afternoon with
Yes.
Locke. Juveniles gonna be this afternoon. We could hit the coroner's budget real quick here on 75. I guess again, the agreement, we've got a really good deal, only having to pay him $15,000 a year. Plus whatever the autopsies. Again, those are coming in a lot higher this year than last
He
year.
has said he loves Cole County, he's doing this for Cole County, and he is happy with.
Now you're
what-
talking coroner, you're not talking autopsies.
I'm talking, autopsies have gone up considerably. Yeah,
Well,
we-
Deerhoff, yeah,
we,
that's a pretty good.
Well, is he a coroner or a medical examiner?
He's a you gotta have a coroner's office if first-class counties can elect to have to change it from an elected coroner to an appointed medical examiner, so. Yeah, I guess we could change it. The way I inherited this budget, calling it county coroner's department, when we could call it, if you want me to change it to medical examiner, we can do that. We technically do not have a coroner, we have a medical examiner, so I can change that.
Well, I
Osage
guess
County, A.J. Probst is their coroner, so is he.
And that's elected.
he's a third-class county.
Yeah. that's
We're
an
first.
elected position.
There's a difference. Why don't you change it to what it's supposed to be?
Change the medical examiner? Yeah. Autopsies we had to do budget adjustments for that. but-
Compared to, yeah. 42.
All right. Prosecutor, emergency management, parks, that's tomorrow, public works is tomorrow. Assessors, supposed to come in tomorrow, that's the plan. Unless you wanna go through sheriff's budget again? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm good.
Gosh, that's about it. EMS is tomorrow,
Yeah, we're good.
so. Yeah. And we pretty much went through the capital improvement. Well, the big part is public works, but which we'll go through tomorrow. But again, this schedule, any more to go over on that? I think we're.
So this afternoon is Pringer Center.
Prosecutor at
Prosecutor.
1 and Pringer at 2.
You got any of them for tomorrow that we can?
I could
do
try and
today if-
get Chris over here.
If,
That's-
we wanna knock them out and get out earlier tomorrow.
Fine.
I think we're gonna probably have a little more discussion about the salary, what we've been putting in the merit pool, kinda how we wanna handle that too, so that might be a
Yeah,
longer
I thought it might be
discussion.
similar to last year. We kind of ended the second day with overall what you want to do with salaries, so.
We'll send everybody's request and then,
Cause right now, we're just throwing them into a merit pool. You know, if we got some different ways we wanna do it. I mean, we got a COLA, we could do a COLA plus a merit to where each department gets a little bit.
There's
Well, that's
other
why I'd
options. You
asked
could
Mark to
drop
look at
the
that,
COLA
but,
and put a bigger pool in. That's an option.
change the 4 to a 3 and a 2.
that's what I had suggested to Mark, but I, you know,
That's-
So we're kinda in timeout right now, right? So I can bug John again on his, we just got another
Yeah,
email
sure.
with his.
Yeah, we're
So
open for
those-
anything now.
Those positions didn't have the steps in them at all. So
Those three,
they'd get
the
a,
lieutenant above,
they'd get the steps and then also
the
the
salary adjustment.
adjustment to
Two phases.
have a different. I guess I just feel stupid for missing that when we talked about the other
Well, I
adjustments.
don't think it's that. I think I didn't communicate as well.
Yeah, whatever happened, I didn't catch it then and.
That's how Brian
But
told me to
Debbie.
present it,
Go ahead and act like it's your fault, that's,
so make sure
that's gonna.
you write that down there, Alex. Brian, they give you the information.
Brian Ridenhour.
Okay.
My computer just shut down. Brian, fun man.
Do you want me to go check with Chris and see if we can come this afternoon instead of tomorrow?
Yeah,
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 at like 12:30.
12:30. Was Nick have that much to talk about? What do you want?
Actually, maybe we get Nick too, either
Okay.
one. Try them both, see which one.
so what? At noon, pizza?
Yeah, I was just supposed to pick it up at noon, I figured it'd
Okay.
be soon enough, I probably should have put 11:45, it'd be all right.
You wanna put her- so come back at 1?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do for right now?
Or 12:30 if one of the.
Quarter to 1 will come.
Come back at 1:45?
Yeah, 'cause
Stand in
if Nick
recess
would
or
come
whatever.
then, we can get Nick done by 1.
Today? Okay. Then I'll
Yeah.
just stand in
You know,
Yeah,
it-
any-
Nick should be very, very simple.
Right, yeah.
And,
So, do you want to stand in recess till, what do we say, 12:45 or 1?
Yeah, let's go 12:45 and see if we can get Nick
12:45,
here.
that'd give everybody time to do what they needed to do,
Gives
and
me plenty.
then y'all can
Yeah.
eat some pizza. Make sure
Yeah.
y'all come hungry.
Is that okay,
Got
Alex?
plenty,
Okay,
needs a break, go
Okay.
outside.
Okay.
So, I'll make a motion to stay in recess until 12:45.
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
I'll let Dawn know we're done for now. Oh, my God. Pizza will be here about 12:15 now, too, so you're welcome to have some.
I think I lost connection. I'm gonna have to reboot.
Type it yesterday's minutes over Tuesday. So, you made the motion yet?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, we're just waiting.